All ye. This is your psychedelic psychopomp, Chase Clarence Calloway. We are trying a new live setup where I'm going to be drawn. Okay. So normally I'm up here talking about spiritual things, right? That's cool. I'll still be doing that. We're talking about your space. We're talking about you being an infinite individual. We're talking about you being a superhero. Okay. So the whole idea of what it means to be a superhero was stolen from Mercury. This is why Mercury Wednesday is in the middle of the week. You can go Google Mercury and see that the messengers of Mercury are Tahuti, Hermes, Odin. So this world's idea of what it means to be a superhero is stolen from Hermes, Tahuti, and Odin. And in the ancient world, Hermes, Tahuti, and Odin were called the Spider-Man. Mercurius Ter Maximus was called the Spider-Man because this was a space that would consistently communicate with other spaces about past lives. So that's why you can go look up how Tahuti, Hermes, and Odin are all connected to Mercury. But now you know the actual wisdom of what it means from a past life perspective and how deep Spider-Man goes. So now when you look at Spider-Man in the Marvel universe, now you can see why the Spider-Verse is so big, right? They use Spider-Man to sell the Spider-Verse because the Spider-Verse is actually Metatron talking to you about how all of your past lives and your present life and your future life are connected by your soul. Okay, so your soul is the body that connects all of your actual bodies. And this is the difference between your structure and what animates your structure, right? So when you go watch Spider-Man No Way Home and you see Doctor Strange, he hits his soul out of his body. That's what we're talking about here. This is what has been stolen from Mercury, and they're selling it in movies. They're selling it in the modern media that we have because that's how they make money. The modern world, this Masonic Marvel Matrix, the people who stole everything from Metatron, they make money by weaponizing indigenous ideas and selling them back to us. So Jesus is an indigenous idea. That's why people know that if Jesus was real, he would have been a black man in Africa. He would have been a Middle Eastern man, but we imagine him as white because that's the point. The point is to whitewash all of our spirituality. So now we all imagine that Jesus is white because we're supposed to imagine that the one child of God is white. And that's how we all support white supremacy. So now you see why these modern religions actively profit off of the genocide of indigenous peoples. Objectively, we know that America has been profiting off the genocide of indigenous peoples. America only exists because it was stolen from indigenous peoples that already made this land great. Native Americans were already here. Quetzalcoatl and his family, Tahuti and his family, Hermes and his family were already here making this country great. So when Europeans came over and they call America land of the free, that's why. Objectively, the Europeans, when they came over, they're like, oh, snap, this is land of the free. They have everything that we want. So now we're free to enslave them. Now we're free to steal from them. Hilarious. Stolen. Nah, they lost, bro. See, Cart Bob, that's racist. You're hilarious because the Native Americans were not at war with the Europeans. The Native Americans taught the Europeans how to grow food. The Native Americans taught the Europeans how to conduct business. The Native Americans taught the Europeans how to even wage democracy and get along because the British and the French and the Portuguese, they were all fighting each other over who would be able to steal the land that we're on right now. Native Americans are so loving, they taught Europeans how to steal our own land because we're so helpful. And you're going to be up here saying that we lost? See, that's you supporting genocide right now. Because we weren't going to war against Europeans, but Europeans are at war against themselves. So they brought war into our land. We didn't ask for Europeans to come here, but we welcome them here because we're so loving. But then Europeans are going to be here saying that they're loving and that's why they deserve to eliminate and exterminate all of us and then lie about it. So the fact that these religious people don't even know why they worship Wednesday as the middle of the week shows me, see, yeah, you're hilarious. If you can't defend your land, you do not deserve it. Yeah, Cart Bob, again, Native Americans were not in the mentality of defending our land. Yeah, hilarious. Original webhead. Way to live in the past. And you're stupid because the present is built on the past. You saying way to live in the past, you might as well not be speaking a language. Why even say words if you're living in the past? Everything is built on the past. Why do you care about Spider-Man if you don't care about Spider-Man being stolen from Mercury? So you don't even care that Mercury is the middle of the week because he's a Spider-Man that holds all the weekdays together? You're just here saying way to live in the past. Let's just eat everything and cause climate change because we don't understand the past. We don't understand history. You're hilarious. See, and this is the mentality that's causing genocide and causing climate change, is people acting like the past doesn't matter. The past matters. It's all around us. Your memories are proof that the past matters. It's so stupid. But see, that's how politics has people. Politics literally has all of you thinking that the past doesn't matter. So now you're willing to support people who constantly lie, cheat, gaslight, and steal to get their way because the past doesn't matter. That's so funny. But I do get that this is the education system. You know, I mean, y'all were taught to support genocide. Y'all were taught to support slavery. So of course you're going to be here like, oh no, slavery is good. We should, slave people. Blah, 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 blah. Like, it's hilarious. Okay, so this happened. I had nothing to do with it or my current family. So you actually do have something to do with it because you're supporting the banks that profit off of genocide right now. So everyone who says they had nothing to do with it, that is not true. If you had nothing to do with it, then you wouldn't be able to speak English. So we all have something to do with it. If you didn't have anything to do with history, then you wouldn't be able to even talk about history. And at that point, we wouldn't even care about your opinion because, again, you wouldn't be able to say words. All of your words are historical. That's what baffles me. When people are like, oh, history doesn't matter. History's so stupid. Blah, blah, blah. Like, what are you talking about? Every word that you're saying is historical. You can't judge the past by today's moral standards. See, like, that's just wrong. That's a lie. It's so silly. Again, today's moral standards are you guys supporting genocide. Do you see how profitable war is? Everyone here is supporting genocide and slavery and saying that destroying the environment is smart. And climate change was never an issue before. But now you're going to say that you can't judge the past by today's moral standards because genocide is okay? That's so wild. Who's on my live stream right now? Why do I actually just have racists on my live stream? I mean, I get that America was literally built by white supremacists saying that they get to do whatever they want and no one else's opinion matters. But again, I'm pointing out the simple contradiction that white supremacists need to steal the land of indigenous peoples to manifest their destiny. And if you don't care about that, then that's because you're enjoying the destiny that white people manifested for you to be ignorant. And then that's it. Like, okay, fine. You guys enjoy supporting manifesting the destiny that was built on the genocide of indigenous peoples because you're saying that the past doesn't matter. And if the past doesn't matter, then you might as well stop speaking words right now, and you might as well throw away all of your relationships. Throw away every single relationship that you have if the past doesn't matter. People are so baffling. But this is the mind of a racist. This is why America is destroying the environment. This is why America is causing climate change. The indigenous peoples who taught Americans how to live here were not causing climate change. Again, we had this land popping. You can't, like, there's so many buildings here that Europeans still can't understand, but they're going to say that their God made them so that they can eat. Hilarious. My point is everyone was conquering land back then. See, you can't, you saying that everyone was conquering land, that's not everyone. Say it specifically, Masons. The Masonic banking system is conquering land. That's why the banking system can't buy land from Native Americans, but it sure can make money off the land that it stole. Okay, so objectively look at the entire history of America, see that no one in South America, no one in North America, no one in Central America decided to sell their land to the banking system. The banking system specifically used warfare and genocide to steal land from people so that it can make money and make you think that you need to maintain this operation today. So when you say everyone was conquering land back then, no, wrong. The banking system was conquering land. The Crusaders were conquering land. The Queen of England, who just passed on and went to a new reality, was the one conquering land. Again, that's why I'm speaking English. If my land was not conquered by Englishmen, I would not be able to speak English for you to understand me. I would be speaking my Catawba Saponi language, and you would still be speaking English talking about how I need Jesus or I need your system. So I've specifically sacrificed my individuality so that I can speak English and give you an indigenous perspective. Yeah, you're judging history by today's moral standards. That's the wrong outlook. We're talking about people supporting systemic genocide. America is the number one producer in renewable energy. That's actually just not even true. America fundamentally runs off of fossil fuels. We see that America runs off of gasoline and fossil fuels, and they've been actively poisoning our bodies with plastic. Do you know how much plastic you have in your body right now? Because this country wants to just keep producing stuff that can't biodegrade. Come on. Come on. Actually, though, it's really silly. I don't really know why y'all are in here just to argue, too. That's so funny. Where are the spiritual people? Like, they're supposed to be on TikTok or whatever, but supposedly everyone's on TikTok. But I mean, I've had my account messed with so much. I mean, it's whatever. I'll just keep doing my thing because I figure if you're here, you're supposed to hear what I'm saying in some way. See, like, this is a lie. You've been indoctrinated as well. You have been indoctrinated well. You can't even tell me what I've been indoctrinated with because my whole point is telling you how English itself is a language that has indoctrinated you into thinking that you're not an individual. And really, we're talking about how everyone is an infinite individual before they choose to enter the universe. If you can't even comprehend what I'm talking about when it comes to consent, then you're really running away from your space. You're running away from your soul really hard. And that's what's going to look like you fighting me. You know how many people want to fight me because they're running away from themselves? That's the whole history of the Americas. Okay, so again, when this person's in here like, oh, the Native Americans deserve to get murdered because they lost the war. We are not in that mindset. When Europeans came over to steal all of our land, we did not perceive that they're evil because the KKK kills kids with kindness. KKK stands for killing kids with kindness, by the way. I made that up. It's just true. When you see how America was created by the KKK, this government itself is the KKK. And these white supremacist religions kill kids with kindness by saying that they love us more than we love ourselves. When that's clearly not true, or else you wouldn't call me black, or you wouldn't call me the N-word. You wouldn't call me an Indian. You would have left me alone as an indigenous man. But white people can't leave us alone. They need to steal our land and say that we deserve to be murdered because we're all one God. We're all one family. Now, because I'm being taught that we're all one energy, I'm supposed to support genocide. And I don't do that. Mercury does not support genocide. I don't support how the system's using my energy. So now here I am, living the Spider-Man lifestyle. I don't have much money, but I got a lot of brains. Okay, I got a lot of creativity. Got a lot of mental keys that I'm translating into English for you. I sacrifice my individuality to speak English so that we can get on one accord. Because this new world order is getting everyone on one accord by forcing us to speak English. So fuck it. I'll speak English and I'll transmute it like an alchemist does. All right. So I'm CymaTree now. All my past lives, that's cool. I'm CymaTree. Anyone claiming to be one of my past lives without actually knowing how it connects to Mercury is simply another demon. And honestly, there's no shortage of people on TikTok who want to claim to be Hermes without knowing who Tahuti is. Or people want to claim to be Odin without knowing who Zoroaster is. So people here will literally just take one life that they want to be seen as, not know how all the other lives connect, and then in their ego say, oh, I'm Hermes now. But they're not expressing more individuality. They're trying to use what was already created to be seen as something that they're not. Not into that. I'm CymaTree. I'm Chase Clarence Calloway. Look up Trismegistus. It's all about tripling your C. So I'm naturally more myself by turning this language into something new. That's the whole point of CymaTree. You can tell the mark of a demon by people who cling on to what was already created and they don't feel like making new things. And that is, again, this new world order. That's why this whole white supremacist system had to steal all the creations of indigenous individuals just to make its system matter. That's why when you look at the back of the American dollar bill, you're going to see an Egyptian pyramid with the all-seeing eye at the top, right? They just stole the shit from Egypt. They're like, oh, we need Egypt to make money. Boom. You know, like that's their whole religion. We need Egypt to make money. We need Mesoamerica to make money. Yeah, that's hilarious. Bro has such a biased understanding of history. He just hates America. That's so funny. So when I'm talking about how America is built off of the systemic genocide, oppression, and slavery of indigenous peoples, you don't care about having empathy for other people. You just care about telling me I hate America. Bro, I built America. I'm telling you how indigenous peoples created America before Europeans stole it from us. But you don't care about that. You want to tell me I hate America because you're trying to tell me that I hate genocide? Yeah, I do hate genocide. I do hate slavery. That's what America was built on. But indigenous America was built on peace and camaraderie. Something that you clearly don't understand and that white people in general don't understand. Hey, what's Gucci Ego Ascendo? We are here drawn. All right, so we got a whole Spider-Man album coming out. Here, I'll show you what's up. Because at least I know we got some spiritual people in the chat, so I don't have to be at full war now. You know, I can show a little more of my personality. So what we're doing right now is talking about how Spider-Man is stolen from Mercury. So when you know that Tahuti, Hermes, Odin, Zarathustra, Quetzalcoatl, these are all Metatron, Enoch Metatron. These are all past lives of one space. Now you can see how Marvel is weaponizing Spider-Man to sell you on the opposite of what Mercury taught you. So Mercury taught the ancient world, Mercury being Wednesday, right? We know Wednesday is Woden's day, Tahuti day, Hermes day. That's the Spider-Man, Mercurius day. So now when you look at movies, you see Spider-Man constantly like holding shit from side to side. You can imagine that as Mercury, literally. 3 planets on the left, 3 planets on the right. Mercury's got the webs holding these planets together so everyone can get lost in their religions. And I can watch everyone get lost in their religions. But guess what? Everyone's using astrology to conduct business. So that's why I can be up here talking about your religion for hours and make it make more sense. But then if you don't know your own religion, then you're going to start fighting me about shit that you don't even understand, you know, and I'm trying to show you my perspective so you don't have to fight me unnecessarily, because I'm not the one you should be fighting. I promise. I promise. I'll vanquish you and then feel bad about it because I wanted you to live a happy life and I wanted you to be happy alone. But because you couldn't be happy alone, you had to come fight me. I had to kill you and now I feel bad. So now we have Spider-Man talking about don't kill people, right? Cool. It's all about your soul. So I've spelled Spider-Man, S-P-Y, Derman, because the actual deeper esoteric meaning of Spider-Man is knowing that even though I am Mercury, I'm the space that built Mercury, I know that none of you can see that. So me being in a body named Chase Clarence Calloway, I'm actually the Spider-Man right now. No one can see my spirit. No one can see who I am before I chose to animate this body. Therefore, I'm at the perception of your projections. Whatever you want to think about me is how you're going to view me. And I would have to project out my own thoughts, and you would have to choose to listen to me, to perceive me how I perceive myself. But if you're going to perceive me how you want to perceive me, that's where we get racism, right? That's where we get prejudice or discrimination or just the religious mindset overall, where the moment someone believes in a religion, they're going to project that religion onto you. So now we have Spider-Man, where I can make a costume where everyone connects with me in their own way. Now everyone can project onto me what makes them feel comfortable. I really can't explain how many times I've been in a circumstance where I was in a Spider-Man costume hanging out with a group of white people. And once I took off my mask, those white people got super upset and super shocked. And they were like, oh my God, I had no idea you were oh, wow. It's hurt my heart a lot growing up. Racism's real. I literally grew up making hella Spider-Man costumes and being shown how white people will treat me more like a person when I have my mask on. But once I take my mask off, now they're going to start being racist to me. They're going to start showing me hate. But Mercury is the one who's holding their world together. I love people more than they can even perceive. That's the whole issue here. This dude is here trying to say, oh, he hates America. Dude, Quetzalcoatl built America out of love for all the spirits outside of himself. I hate genocide. Because your idea of America is supporting genocide, you're going to tell me that I hate America when that's your projection. You're perceiving your own projection. That's not who I am. That's not how I feel. Yet it seems that no matter how much art I make or what I do, people in their religions, in their white supremacist ideas, will always be able to tell me who I am. I don't identify as black, but the only reason I'm forced to identify as black is because the people who brought English into my land get to teach me who I am after they eliminated all the indigenous peoples. So that's what America's built on, objectively. And this is where when you look at Marvel and you see the Spider-Verse, right? You got all these Spider-Men and shit, all these Spider-Men. The whole point of the Spider-Verse is Marvel weaponizing what Mercury taught you against you. If you knew that you as a space create a soul before you create all these bodies to express your soul, you would never need another religion again. You would never need another system to teach you that you need to go to heaven ever again. When you know that you create bodies to share your soul with other people, why? How would you go to hell? Hell is where we are right now. This is what I'm doing. Okay. I'm in hell right now. The fact that I even have to explain who I am through all these different layers. This is what hell is. Heaven would be me alone in my own space, happy with my family, my actual family that I resonate with, my spiritual family. In the universe, we're in a universe right now. We're in hell. This universe is hell because hell is simply the space that you go when you want to share your heaven with others. So if I want to show you the perspective of Mercury, then I have to enter hell and use the tools inside of hell to literally share my heaven with you. But my heaven is me alone in my space. Now, I like to help people. I'm kind of self-sacrificing. So, yeah, cool. Mercury, the whole point of Mercury is to help other people. The whole point of Mercury is to hold simulations together. That's why no matter what religion you're in, no matter what system of belief you have, if you practice waking up and living by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I've got you. You're in my web. Objectively, if you care about Wednesday, then you're in the web of Mercury, and you just need to learn more about your mind. You just need to learn more about astrology. Because I'm realizing climate change is happening because people literally don't know where they are. Lol. People don't know what universe this is. People don't know where they came from. And because they don't know where they came from, they don't really know where they're going. Because guess what, guys? Guess what, everybody? I'm here to tell you this right now. As your psychedelic psychopomp, I'm telling you this right now. You're going to go back where you came from. That's why this whole life is about you. This whole life, your whole entire life. Don't let any religion abduct you. Don't let any religion teach you that it's not about you. You're going to go back where you came from. If someone had to teach you about Jesus, then you didn't come from Jesus. Someone's using Jesus to take your energy. But Jesus is a representation of you. Okay, so Jesus is you. You are Jesus as the child of God. But the point is, you are your own Jesus. That's why no one can teach me about my personal relationship with God. Do understand that all these Christians, all the people who taught me to sacrifice my life to Jesus and worship murdering and eating the flesh and drinking the blood of a man who fasts, do realize that this entire system never wanted me to fast. That's a problem. And that doesn't make sense to me. That didn't make sense to me growing up, to be reading a Bible where I'm supposed to worship someone who fasted to talk to God, but I'm not supposed to do that for myself. You got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. I do shit for myself. You're not about to teach me that someone else fasted to talk to God and the government killed him. So now I don't have to do that. And now I can be a white American eating meat 3 times a day, consuming junk food 3 times a day, acting like I'm holy. What the fuck? See, this is what's causing climate change. This is what's causing climate change. This mentality of, oh, Jesus fasted and talked to God, so we don't have to. And now for some reason, it's normal not to talk to God. Guys, indigenous peoples, Quetzalcoatl and his family were using psychedelics to constantly talk to God before Europeans came over. That's why psychedelics are illegal now. Because indigenous people showed Europeans the power of psychedelics to connect them to spirit. That's why when you Google DMT, they call it the spirit molecule. And then when you go do ayahuasca, it's DMT. Okay. And guess what? Here's me making the connection for you as your psychedelic psychopomp. When you fast, you produce DMT naturally. So this is why this whole society, this religious system has made psychedelics illegal. And then they teach you not to fast for yourself. They don't want you producing DMT. They don't want you smoking DMT. They don't want you producing it because it's literally the spirit molecule, just Google it, that connects you to your idea of God. That's why I'm not here to tell you who God is, but I can tell you who God is. It's you before you were born. That simple. Your God is you before you were born. And if you feel disconnected from yourself, then you're going to project your God into a religion, into someone else's system. That's natural. So once I just told you this is what you're doing, you're going to see everyone else in the world doing this. Everyone else in the world does this. This is why no one can actually agree on one religion. That's why the moment you get 100 people reading one Bible, they all create their own denominations. They all cherry pick. They all branch out and decide that they want to cut out this scripture, but keep this one, or cut out this scripture and keep this one. It's individuality. Spirituality is ultimately individuality. And all of us as individuals are simply using what other individuals made to express our own individuality. So that's why you can get one Christian family, one Christian book. But then when you get 100 people reading it, now you can have 10 denominations because you have 10 different families branching off. Like, oh, well, we only like this part of the book. We only like this part. We only like this part. Bro's jumping back and forth between timelines all over the map. Again, you're over here saying I hate America when my whole point is that indigenous peoples made America because we love ourselves. So you're wrong. Again, like you're just projecting lies onto me because you're in some whatever ego. And guys, this is what the ego is. That's why everyone's in their ego before they're in their body. Objectively, your body is the structure that you're lying in. Your ego itself lies to build a body. This is why everything's a lie before it becomes a truth, technically. And now we have to all figure out which lies were truthful enough to materialize into reality, right? Because anyone can say anything to you at any time. But if you don't see that thing in reality, then you call it a lie, right? So here's an example. Someone says, hey, I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. You're like, oh, cool. You're going to go to the gym tomorrow. If that person doesn't go to the gym tomorrow, you're going to call them a liar. And the reason they're a liar is because they use their fire to project out an intention that they did not use water to bring weight to. So your body is the water, but really your body's earth. Your soul is the water. But the point is your ego being fire. If your soul feels like doing what your ego is projecting out, then your body will make it real, right? So my ego can project out, I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. If my soul, if my vibration does not resonate with that intention, guess whose mind is not going to manipulate their body to go to the gym? Chase, mine, right? So this is fire, water, air, earth. No one can run from this knowledge because this is how we're all communicating right now. This is why Mercury, the Spider-Man, holds all religions together. It doesn't matter what religion you believe. If you live by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I've got you. I've got you. I got you. Your mind builds your body. You can't run from that. Your mind is building your body right now. You can't run from that. You cannot run from that. People try to run from it and they cause climate change. This is what's causing climate change in the world. People thinking that their mind can run away from their space. So now their mind is running away into a body that's scared of dying. But if you weren't running away from your soul, you would never be scared of dying because you would realize why you chose to be born. Do you see that? I know I'm going to have to be up here repeating this shit because, reps, and we're just starting. And I've been blocked and lost accounts and stuff a lot. So I'm on a bigger mission right now. But shout out everyone who is in here resonating with what I'm saying, because this is not about me. We're talking about your mind. And Spider-Man, okay, this is Hermeticism, by the way. All right. So again, Spider-Man is stolen from Mercury. Great power comes great responsibility is Hermeticism. That's literally me as Hermes teaching you that your power is your fire. Your responsibility is your water. I could write so many books on this. It's not even funny, and I will do that. But right now, know that your power is your ego and your responsibility is your soul. Look at that. No one can run from that. The moment I say these words, it sticks. No one can run from that. Your power is your ego. Your ego is powerful. Your ego allows you to imagine how you want your life to go. Your entire life is based on what you imagine. From there, your responsibility, right, is your soul. Everyone is responsible for their own souls. Your soul is not responsible for my soul. I'm responsible for my own soul. I'm not responsible for your soul. You are responsible for your own soul. Everyone should know this subconsciously. In other realms and realities, people know this. The problem with modern religions right now is people thinking that they are not responsible for their own actions. This is what's causing climate change. These white supremacist religions teach you that one God is responsible for all of us. So now no one's responsible for their actions. Now the people who taught you that one God is controlling all of us get to wash their hands of their sins, sacrifice Jesus on the cross because they taught you that they don't have to take responsibility for their own actions, like Spider-Man. That's not Mercury. That's Mason. Mercury teaches you that you are responsible for your own actions. That's why you are God. You can't run from this. You are the God that's responsible for your own actions. A Mason is going to steal what I share from Mercury and teach you that another God is responsible for your actions. So now you get to just serve them. And now, no matter what genocide you do, no matter how much evil you spread, you were not responsible for your own actions. And it's wild that people will fight me on this, but they'll still worship Woden's Day as Wednesday. The contradictions are insane. You cannot be a Christian here telling me I'm wrong, but you're still going to worship Wednesday as Woden's Day. Throw out your whole week structure. Throw out your whole banking system if you're saying I'm wrong. Like, please, like, throw out your entire new world order. You know, like, you can't say I'm wrong when you're using my creations to lie to people. I'm always going to make more sense than the liars. That's why liars have to steal what already made sense and then lie to you. And that's what these movies are. I realize that when I'm drawing, I'm actually silent, and talking moves my fucking body. So I'm trying something new, drawing on live and talking, but this might not work out because I'm not drawing as fast as I normally do. But also, I wasn't expecting to be drawing as fast as I normally do. I was expecting to be talking about the spiritual shit. So very important for you to know that your mind builds your body. People were taught by Masons that our body builds our mind. Mercury teaches you that your mind builds your body. Masons teach you that your body builds your mind. Which one makes more sense? Let me know. You know, like, let me know which one intuitively makes more sense. Which one do you feel like is happening every day? Do you feel like your body is building your mind every day? Or do you feel like your mind is building your body every day? Because I know when I get up and I decide to go work out, it wasn't because my body told my mind, let's go work out. Every single time that I go work out, it's because my mind told my body, hey, we're going to go take action on something that the ego is imagining. Chase's ego is imagining getting his flex on. So now his soul is responsible for upholding that frequency with a vibration that can generate the energy to matter. Fire, frequency, water, vibration, air, energy, earth, matter. Okay, so when Masons are over here saying energy can't be created or destroyed, that's them stealing my shit, stealing everything from Mercury and making you ignore vibration and frequency. Your mind, your energy is literally created every day by you vibrating at a certain frequency. Your vibration is your water. Your frequency is your fire. You yourself are the space. You're nothing. So you're creating a frequency that can vibrate to generate energy that matters. Your body is your matter. No one can tell you that your body doesn't matter because obviously, you can't run from this. Your body matters because your mind is the energy that makes it matter. There's no other way around. It's not the other way around. It's not like people can be like, oh, well, actually, your body was made by someone that you've never met. So now it creates energy that can vibrate with the frequency of the person who made you. You're backwards knowledge. This whole world has been abducted by backwards Masonic knowledge. Yet everyone is worshiping Wednesday as the middle of the week because it's all stolen from Mercury. And it really doesn't matter if you believe me or not. As Spider-Man, it's my responsibility to take responsibility for my power. I'm forced to. I either might as well do this or I might as well die. These are my options. Because there's no point in me being alive here if I'm not going to express my individuality and solve climate change with an actual spiritual perspective. Because that's what I came here to do. Do know that. My entire life, I've been obsessed with the climate, the environment, and answering the question, why don't humans give a fuck about their environment like they used to? Oh, cultural genocide. Duh. Got it. But no one was going to teach me that growing up, even though the Bible did teach me that. The Bible is constantly about warfare and genocide. But of course, America taught me that there were no indigenous peoples here. I was taught growing up that white people discovered this land and that I don't exist. And if I do exist, it was because I was stolen from Africa by the same white people that discovered this land. And it took me a good amount of time investigating with my family to learn that I'm literally Catawba and Saponi. So again, the whole point of indigenous peoples being labeled black is that it's meant to erase our individuality. The banking system that brought these religions into America are using the terms white and black to erase the spiritual individuality of indigenous peoples. And now they teach us to fight each other because they make money off of getting us to fight each other. That's why I can't teach about the N-word on TikTok. I'll get deleted. But TikTok will show me a video of a white person calling a black person the N-word because that's okay. Literally, this is the world I'm in. This is the world that we're in. White people can objectively call black people the N-word on TikTok and get millions of views. But I can't talk about the history of where the N-word comes from without my video getting struck down and without my channel getting penalized. So this is objectively a system where white people can get away with murder and then say that it's your fault because you exist. You know, and that's what this dude in the comments is even saying, talking about, oh, he hates America. You know, indigenous peoples lost the war. What? There is no war. If we were in a war mindset, we would have just killed you instead of helping you. But somehow white people are like, no, this is about war. We invaded your lands. You lost. So we deserve this place. Now God loves us and no one should do the same. Now we get to trap all the illegal aliens. The same religion that claims they won the war against indigenous peoples are the one trapping children in the border right now and making money off of further systemic genocide. And you guys are acting like this is love. This is one God. This is not my God. This isn't how I conduct business with people, but you're telling me that I'm not myself. So I was created by someone who uses genocide and warfare and my creations to conduct business with people. No, I know that this is not me. I know for a fact that I do not support everything that the New World Order has been doing to manifest their destiny. Ooh, they love to manifest their destiny. That's what the internet is. A way to steal creative people's ideas. And it's a shame, bro. It's such a shame. Like, they really do use the internet to steal everything that they can. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, they've been doing this. It's just so sad. Because humans don't deserve to be treated like this. High key, humans do not deserve to be gaslit, stolen from, lied to. But this New World Order system knows that humans are so valuable and knows that control is the ultimate power. So yeah, they want to make sure they use the internet to control how we communicate. That's why I've lost so many accounts and videos and stuff. Like they are objectively using this technology and making us pay for something that they're actually making way more money off of than we can really imagine. Humans really can't imagine how much money this system is making off of teaching us that we need to use money to serve apps that are not serving us. These apps are not loyal to us. These apps don't have to respect our privacy, but we're forced to respect theirs. These apps don't have to value the time and energy that we put into them, but we have to pay money. We literally have to pay in the value, the Masonic banking currency value, in order to connect on these apps. So they've got us. This is them weaponizing. This is why the metaverse is named after Metatron. Mason stole Facebook, the metaverse, from Metatron. They're simply weaponizing all this energy of Mercury against you. Social media is big Mercury energy. Hermes is big social media Mercury energy. The whole point of social media is to send messages to people that you vibe with. You know, like that's the whole point. Send messages to people you vibe with. That's Hermes. Boom. But then they're going to turn it into the metaverse because they want to connect all the spaces on Earth. But they want to connect all the spaces on Earth from a Facebook perspective. We see that Facebook has been stealing people's information, making mental health problems worse, undermining democracy, all those fun things. So colonizers just got to colonize. And it's really annoying because no one can see the future. This is the thing with the ego. Anyone who's telling you that they can see the future is someone who's just projecting their ego at you, because that's what the ego is. The ego is your future, but you can't tell me my future because you don't know what space I'm coming from. So your ego is always your future. Basically, like, this is why everyone's idea of the future is based on their ego. And it really makes me upset when I've been going to college dealing with kids that are saying, oh, it's too late to stop climate change. And then all these scientists are here like, it's too late to stop climate change. But you are the system that's causing climate change. It's not too late to stop. You just don't want to stop. So now you're going to teach the American population that it is too late to stop because you don't want to stop. And if you teach people that it's too late to stop, then they won't feel like it's their responsibility to change the way that they communicate. So this is all scientific witchcraft. These scientists are simply justifying genocide and justifying destroying the environment and justifying slavery, poisoning everybody. Yeah, see, Jesus Christ loves you. He died for our sins and rose 3 days later. You couldn't even say cross. Why do I have to say cross? See, and here's the witchcraft here. I'm not of sin. So this is the problem. When people are running away from their soul, they're going to project onto you that you're also running away from your soul. So now people who hate their past lives, they're going to tell you that you also hate your past lives and you need the same medicine that they have. So now they feel like Jesus is medicine for all the fucked up stuff that they have done in past lives. I haven't done fucked up shit in past lives. Mercury is holding this entire simulation together. So I'm literally not in the vibration to feel like I'm of sin. So when you tell me that Jesus died for my sins, that's why growing up, I had to be taught what sin is. I had to be taught by the people that Jesus died for me or whatever, how I was not good enough alone. So objectively, you have to teach me that I'm not good enough alone. You have to teach me how you feel in order to make me think that I need the same medicine that you're taking. When I actually fast, and I fasted way longer than Jesus at this point, actually, when I fast and I'm talking to God, we're never talking about Jesus. I promise. We're talking about everyone being a child of God, but we're not talking about there being only one child of God and everyone needs to be saved by worshiping his sacrifice. That's fucked up. Also, my father wouldn't sacrifice me to people who hate me. So you trying to teach me that the man who made me did that for his only child, but somehow I'm also a child of that? No. You're trying to indoctrinate me into an incestuous religion. You're trying to teach me that we're all one family and that I have no consent. That's rape. That's why therapy is rape. Therapy. The rapey. You just put some space right in between the rapey. The rapey. That's literally these religions. Their idea of therapy is raping us. Their idea of therapy is teaching us that we need medicine that we don't need. And that medicine actually kills us. That's what pharmaceutical companies do. I literally have a friend in my life who died. She died because she went to a therapist and that therapist recommended her pharmaceutical medication that killed her. I miss her. So these pharmaceutical companies and these therapists, these doctors, they work together to sell you poison. Just like these religions work together with the banking system to sell you poison. poison for your soul. There's no reason to feel like you're of sin other than you did fucked up shit in past lives, but you shouldn't run from your fucked up past. You need to fast like Jesus did to address it. Somehow people are like, oh, well, Jesus fasted, so I don't have to. Now I can run away from my past and say that everyone needs Jesus because no one can fast to talk to God. But when I'm actually living like Jesus, God is not talking to me about Jesus. He's talking to me about me. He's talking to me about my individual journey with him. The only time I'm hearing about Jesus is when I come back to this reality and the white people who have colonized America are teaching me why I need to sacrifice myself to the system that's causing climate change. That's not God. When I'm alone with God, we're not talking about Jesus. When I'm fasting with God, we're not talking about Jesus. But somehow the people who don't fast are going to tell me that I'm the demon. Somehow I'm the problem because I'm actually fasting like Jesus did. So now everyone who doesn't want to fast can say that I'm wrong. But they worship eating the flesh and drinking the blood of a man who fasts. So yeah, I see where white culture is coming from. I see you guys. Yeah, I get it. I see you guys. Mercury sees you guys. All right, America's been built on the cannibalization of people who actually fast. I know this. That's why when you're seeing all this stuff about the Illuminati come out now, it's going to very slowly come out about the cannibalism. But just don't be surprised. It's right there in the religion. They eat the body of Christ and they drink the blood of Christ for salvation. That's fundamentally them saying that they practice cannibalism to feel better about their space. No one told them to do that. No one told them to practice cannibalism to feel good about salvation and feel good about heaven. That's what they want to do. Indigenous peoples do not we don't feel like that. We don't do that. But then somehow this Bob guy is going to come in like, oh, well, they didn't know, they lost the war. We're not at war. Our religion is not about spreading war. Our religion is actually about fostering peace. Objectively. That's why Europeans are obsessed with eating us. That's why American culture is built on stealing everything from Native Americans and then lying about it. Everything. All the resources that America has stolen from Native Americans. But somehow these white people are going to be up here like, well, they deserved it. Now, in God we trust. Everything is love. What the fuck? Wow. It really hurts my soul. And that's how I know, again, we're not one God. Because when I'm alone with God, I'm not hurt like this. White people don't hurt me when I'm alone with God. But then somehow when I come back to earth, white people are going to be the ones telling me that God wants them to hurt me. No, but that's how America was built. White people saying God wants us to hurt black people. So let's steal all the land from indigenous peoples and lie to them about their history so that we can eat them and destroy the environment. And now no one cares about slavery. And the fact that like these first people on this live were like, oh, you're stuck in the past. Shit is gnarly. That's so gnarly to me. Bro, fine. Mercury is always stuck in the past. Let's just say that then. Mercury is always stuck in the past. If I wasn't stuck in the past, I would not be able to tell you the subconscious nature of reality. If I wasn't stuck in the past, I wouldn't be able to tell you how everything is connected by where we came from. Obviously, everything's connected by where we came from. You can't say the past doesn't matter and speak English. Like, people are actually walking contradictions. How do you say the past doesn't matter, but you have a mom? Who were you born into? It wouldn't matter, right? Like, you fuck your mom. You know? Literally, just fuck your whole family. Fuck everyone that you've chosen to interact with because it's all in the past. The only thing that matters is right now. See, like, religions make no sense. And then also, so insane. The same people who are going to say I'm stuck in the past about America are going to teach me always. They're always the same people that teach me I need to sacrifice my life to the man who got killed 2,000 years ago. walking contradictions. How are you going to teach me that I'm stuck in the past while also teaching me I need to sacrifice my life to a man who got killed by the government 2,000 years ago? The contradictions are hilarious. But they're also causing climate change. So, like they're funny, but they're also supporting systemic genocide. They're not that funny, but we have to make light of evil things so that we can really even talk about them. And that's why I'm learning I'm going to have to do with TikTok. I'm going to have to start doing skits. You're about to start seeing Messenger of Mercury skits. I'm about to be speaking from the perspective of the messengers of Mercury. We'll make some comedic skits out of it or some shit. Because then from there, I'm hoping that the algorithm will let me talk about social justice issues, social justice issues, the history of Indigenous peoples, all the things that matter. But because I'm doing it in the way that we're taught to communicate, which is making jokes or making light of serious situations, hopefully the algorithm supports it more instead of striking it down like, oh, no, we don't want people to know this. Like, I'm hoping that I can make the truth so jokey and relatable, as in, and it's annoying because the truth is relatable. Lies are unrelatable, but we're in a backwards world where lies are more relatable than the truth. So I'm trying to figure out, how do I make the truth relatable? Because people are just lost in lies. And it's looking like it's going to come down to doing comedic skits. So I'll have my teaching content. But the teaching content really is not going to go anywhere in the algorithm. That's just for the school. As far as getting into the algorithm and getting engagement with the world, I'm pretty sure it's going to have to be skits. That's just kind of outside my comfort zone because I don't generally act, but I can. It's whatever. I don't generally act. I didn't grow up acting. So I just have to start practicing channeling the messengers of Mercury and imagining how would Tahuti, Hermes, Odin, Quetzalcoatl, Enoch, and Zarathustra communicate about what's happening in the world today? And then how does Chase observe all that? Because this is not about my ego. I just want everyone to know the true facts about history. History is the truth. The past of this universe is the objective truth that connects all the lies. No matter what lie anyone is lost in, the truth is people are living by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday because Mercury built this world. Because the mind builds the body. That's why your spine is your caduceus. That's why you can learn a lot about your body from chaseyourgenes.com. All right, check out my website. It's all about the health of your body. It's all about you building a better body by building a better mind. Right? Think about everyone in the world who has fucked up bodies. It's always because they have a fucked up mind. Almost always. I'm talking about the people who let their bodies decay, not people who got into accidents, right? But people who they're mentally lazy, you're going to see that their body is not upkept, just like someone who doesn't keep up a car, right? If you don't maintain your car is going to break down and your car is going to look ugly while it does it. That's your human body. If you don't maintain your human body, your body's going to break down and it's going to look ugly while it's doing it. You don't want that. You don't want a body that's breaking down, and you don't want a body that looks ugly while it's breaking down. Damn, bro, sorry you had to experience that. Absolutely. Thank you, Ego Ascendo. Racism's real. It's annoying. I wish it wasn't real. It's really annoying to me that the same people who bring racism into my land are teaching me that we're all one God. It's so weird. How are you going to say we're all one God when you're the one discriminating against me? When you're the one who is kicking me out of your business in my own land? When you're the one who is enslaving my ancestors in our own land? Because you believe that we're all one God. It's so this is religious warfare at its finest, honestly. Let me say that. The history of America is religious warfare damn near at its finest. Okay, what am I going to make this web shooter look like? I'll figure that out later. I'll figure that out later. It might be a Dragon Ball, right? Or a Dragon Ball themed web shooter. So also know that Dragon Ball Z is everything I'm talking about here. That's why this is Dragon Ball Z Spider-Man CymaTree. Dragon Ball Z Spider-Man CymaTree. Because Dragon Ball Z is taken directly from Zoroastrianism. Naruto and Dragon Ball Z are both taken from Zoroastrianism. That's why when you see in Naruto that these characters are walking on water, they're all Jesus. Because they all are the child of God. The point of Jesus walking on water is telling you that you as a child of God can walk on water if you fast. So that's Mercury wisdom. If you fast, you can't just kill Jesus, eat his flesh, and then say that you can do what he did because you did not do what he did. You just ate his body after the fact. That's literally people being lost in the body and not understanding what it means to have a Christ mentality. Your Christ mentality is you knowing that as a child of God, your relationship with God is infinitely individual to your space. No one outside of your space can tell you about your own relationship with God unless you let them. And then this is consent, right? So now you have to consent. You have to agree to let other people tell you who God is. And then that's you choosing to learn about yourself from other people. That's what we're doing right now. Right? You don't have to agree with what I'm saying. The fact is, though, what's today? Fucking Saturday? Wednesday's coming up, so watch out. You know, you might want to think about everything I'm saying when Wednesday comes around. You might want to go Google Wednesday and go learn why the ancient world called it Woden's Day, Tahuti Day, Hermes Day, and Mercury Day. You might want to think about your past lives a little bit. Because Tahuti, Hermes, and Mercury are all past lives of one space. Odin, Zarathustra. Those are two past lives of Mercury. Metatron is the manager of Mercury. So Enoch as Metatron is a past life of Mercury. And when you see in Judaism, when they say that Enoch rose to join God to become the most powerful angel, that's them stealing the truth. The truth is that Enoch went back to Mercury to level up his consciousness. And that's, again, why Metatron is the manager of Mercury. So now when you see in Jewish religion that they worship Hermes for being the god of communication, they worship Tahuti for being the god of communication, they worship Odin for being the god of communication. Now you know why. Now you know why. Because they stole everything from Mercury to make their business possible, to make their religions possible. Otherwise, they wouldn't give a fuck about making you worship Wednesday as Woden's Day. They just wouldn't care. They would have their own days. You know, Thursday would not be Thor's Day. It's Norse. They care more about Norse mythology than the religion that they're using Norse mythology to sell to you. Objectively. Otherwise, Wednesday would be named something else. It wouldn't be named after Odin. This banking system objectively worships Mercury more than it worships the religions that it has given you. Objectively. So it's just important for you to know that you are an infinite individual before you chose to enter this universe. And this is just one universe. Guys, there's infinite universes. I'm here to teach you how to build your own universe, honestly. That's the whole Spider-Verse. That's why when they weaponize Spider-Man and they sell you the Spider-Verse and you see the metaverse in the world, Mercury, it's all connected by Mercury talking to you about how every body that your soul has ever created is connected by then your space. Or, I mean, your space is you as a spirit. Your soul is your memory. And then your body is what makes your memory real. No one can run from this right now. Your memory is only real because of your body, right? Think about what I'm doing right now, this body. Who gives a fuck about these hands if I'm not building upon the memory that I am communicating about right now, right? If I'm not thinking about the past and moving forward as I'm thinking about the past, what's the point? Yes, you as a vessel expressing universal concepts in the physical. Absolutely. We are spirits having a human experience. Absolutely, Lady Macbeth. Big facts. Yep, and that Jesus coming back to save is so this world will end and we don't have to worry about climate change. Thank you, Lady Macbeth. That was kind of hard to get through, but I got exactly what you're saying. Absolutely. Literally. Because Christians, this is my thing. When I'm talking to Christians about climate change, they're like, oh, well, God's going to engulf this world in fire anyway. What? That's what you want to do to this place? You're okay spreading plastic and poisons and chemicals everywhere because God is going to burn it to the ground anyway? That's no wonder we have climate change. No wonder the Industrial Revolution is destroying the environment. No wonder all this fire is burning down the Amazon rainforest while Amazon just makes more money spreading pollution and turning trees into boxes that get thrown away. That's what Amazon is now. Fuck the rainforest. We just turn trees into boxes and make money off of pollution. That's Amazon. This makes me mad, guys. I'm just letting you know. I take Mercury personally because I personally built Mercury with my fucking bare hands. My bare hands, my vulnerable hands. I be the air. I use air to build the earth that is Mercury. My be air hands. God damn. I can't not be myself. So when people are teaching me that I did not create anything that I can explain better than them, but they're going to use my creations to tell me I'm not creative, yeah, I got to get frustrated. I'm going to get a little upset about being lied to by people who stole my shit and are causing climate change because they're saying no one knows how the climate works. Dude, I know how every universe works. I know how the mind works. It's really not that hard. It's just a process. And that's for everyone here. It's not hard to understand how your mind works. It's just a process. And the problem is people feel like going through the process is too hard. That's the problem, again, with people sacrificing Jesus instead of doing what Jesus did. People feel like fasting to talk to God is too hard. Let's just eat the flesh of someone who did it instead of doing it for ourselves. That's what's causing climate change. People not going through the process. People thinking that someone else can go through a spiritual process for them. And now they're going to worship that person. Like, oh, thank you, Jesus. You fasted so I don't have to. Now we can murder all the Native Americans that we're going to invade who fast way more than you because they don't agree with our idea of what it means to be one family. It's that simple. And I had to specifically sacrifice my life and sacrifice my individuality just to be able to speak English and talk to you about how, no, we're not all one family. The family of Mercury is not the same family that is making genocide profitable. The family of Mercury is not the same family that is making money off of slavery. But they're using Mercury's creations to make it possible because all they can do is weaponize what they've stolen. All they can do is take what they've already seen working and use it against the people that were working. So because this New World Order wants humans to work under the banking system, they're going to steal Mercury and make everyone worship Wednesday as the middle of the week. But they're not going to teach you about your past lives. Fucked up. So fucked up. How is a banking system going to make you worship Wednesday as the middle of the week? Wednesday is a Spider-Man of the week, but they're not going to teach you about your soul or your past lives or how fasting connects you to God. So fucked up. It's so evil. I'm baffled at how evil they are. When will the tribalism end? Lady Macbeth, tribalism will basically never end because tribalism is all about individuals connecting with other individuals that they resonate with. So tribalism is basically the start of families in a physical reality. This is why even your body is tribal, right? If the cells that are making your body are not the same cells that are making another person's body, you're already in different tribes. Right? So the fact that you and I have different human bodies, we're in different tribes. But then if we want to choose to connect our tribes and make an alliance or an allegiance, now our bodies can work together. And this happens then infinitely, big and small, right? So that's what your cells are already doing to make your body possible. And that's what we as humans are doing to make this globe possible, right? Or this new world order possible, to make the government possible. So it's always bodies within bodies, spaces within spaces. And what you're doing right now as a human is amassing more intelligence in your soul so that you can subconsciously operate more connections than other animals. So I'm explaining to you right now the difference between you and a dog, right? Or the difference between you and a bug. Technically, animals have smaller souls than humans because those animals have not been through enough experiences to amass a bunch of memories that would give them the spiritual intelligence to operate a body like this. Christianity won't teach you that. Christianity won't tell you any of that. Christianity will just say that one man made everything seen and unseen, so you need to worship him because English, because language. What? You don't give a fuck about empathy? You don't give a fuck about actually understanding the difference between animals? You just want to say it was all created by one man that we've never met, and that gives you permission to eat everybody? Jeez. Your ego is a defense mechanism that tries to protect the soul. And you know, okay. I like that. You're not wrong. Because that happens a lot. Right? So think about when your ego is fire and your soul is water. This is how light moves. So fire projects light. Water absorbs light. So your ego is always projecting out light. That's meant to project or protect, right? Protect how your soul absorbs light. So here's your soul, right? Your soul is your memory. Someone comes up, you're ugly. You're an ugly little dummy. Then you absorb that in your soul, right? So now your soul is like, oh no, I'm an ugly little dummy. This is your water. So your water, your memory is holding on to people telling you that you're ugly. And that's going to weigh you down. Guys, no one can run from this science. This is elemental. This is hermetic alchemy. Elementary. All right. Elementary school should have been about the elements. They know that. They stole this shit from me. It hurts my soul. Whatever. Elementary school should have been about the elements because all kids would have gotten this. All kids would have a way better life. This world would be a way better world if people understood that their ego is their fire, their soul is their water. And when the soul holds on to too many ideas, it becomes heavy. And that's how we built a body right now. So your body right now is your soul holding on to so much light that it is turned from a vibration into matter. That's why your heartbeat has to keep vibrating if you want to live. The moment your heartbeat stops vibrating, guess what happens to your body? No more energy, no more mind, no more currency, no more chi being conducted through your cells. Your body won't matter anymore. It'll still matter here, right? But no one will care about your body because why? Your mind can't operate it. Right? No one in my family, none of my friends give a fuck about my body if I can't communicate my mind through it. No one cares about this body. No one cares about your body if your mind is not able to communicate through it. That's why if you're asleep in school, they fucking wake you up. I can ground this in all ways because this is just life. That's why when you're in school, they wake you up because they care more about your mind than your body. Of course. It's all about the mind building the body. If the body built the mind, you would be able to sleep in class. How about that? For everyone who thinks that the body builds the mind, you would be able to sleep in fucking class. Because your body would simply be absorbing everything that the teacher's saying, regardless of where your mind is. Your mind could be in dream world, but because your body built your mind, you can sleep in class because your body is still absorbing all the information. But guess what? We know that's not the case, right? We know that that's literally not the case. If you're asleep in class, you're not going to remember what was happening around your body. Oh, because your fucking body doesn't build your mind. I'm going to have a field day this life dissecting just how wrong Masons are. I just have to stay calm because it really pisses me off that this system gets to lie to be profitable, and that this system gets to spread genocide and gaslight and rape and murder to act like it's one loving God. And then they're using Mercury to do it. They're using Wednesday to do it. They're using Odin's energy to do it. It's so evil. So evil. That's why I'm drawing right now. You think I'm just drawing for fun? This is about spiritual warfare. This whole album is about Mercury reclaiming Spider-Man and showing you what Spider-Man actually means for you. You should know that your soul is your ability to connect with other souls. If you as a spirit did not have your own soul, you would not be able to feel connected with other souls, and we would not be talking right now. That's why, yeah, everything is energy, cool. But if you don't resonate with someone's energy, you're going to separate from them. That's the soul. We can't deny that we create energy then. So when people say that energy can't be created or destroyed, that's a Mason who stole wisdom from Mercury and is teaching you the reverse. Mercury teaches you, you have to create energy to relate with other spaces. If you don't create energy, you're not going to exist. You won't experience existence, EX. You won't exit your space if you don't create energy that allows your mind to leave heaven. Boom, 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 boom. From there, your body's going to matter. Because guess what? Once you have energy, that matters. That's your body. Your mind is your energy. Your body's your matter. Giving me constructivist vibes. What is a constructivist? I don't know. Getting comfortable with mortality. Ooh, they just recycled other stories from other religions. Absolutely, absolutely, Lady Macbeth. Right? Because that's the only reason why they have the Egyptian pyramid on the dollar bill. You know, if they actually gave a fuck about their own religion, make whole new symbols. Just make whole new shit. Why are you stealing everything from indigenous peoples while saying that we don't matter? That's a whole contradiction. If we don't matter, get out of our land. CymaTree, what's your perspective on crypto and the blockchain as a new method of connection? Ego Ascendo. It's really annoying that they named it crypto, right? Like crypto feels like it's supposed to keep us trapped in a construct. Like when you think of like cryptology or just like being stuck in a crypt or in a burial ground. So crypto, just the name alone is about death and trapping energy. Oh my gosh, did my pen die? My pen died. That's funny. Yeah, crypto, I'll just start charging this. Crypto, just by its name alone, is about trapping dead energy and really trapping the living in the dead. So yeah, the idea of crypto is it's supposed to be cool, right? Because it's supposed to be money, but accessible money for everybody. But really, it's just a way for rich people to get richer and poor people to get poorer because it's just sanctioned gambling. It's just a way that they can make their money mean more. So now instead of the US dollar bill, everyone who already had a bunch of US dollar bills and paper money, they can use their paper real money to create all this fake virtual currency. But because all this fake virtual currency is already backed by paper real money, yeah, it's just a new form of rich people getting richer. But poor people, they don't even have the money to invest in crypto and win in the first place. You know, like, especially when you as a rich person, to even know which crypto is going to go up, you have to have the insider knowledge. So it's them manufacturing all the trends of what's going to go up and what's going to go down anyway. You know, so it's just stock market 2.0, but in a way that's supposed to be more technologically progressive. But whatever, right? The point is, if we're forced to use these tools, then the positive side of crypto is that you can be really smart with how you transition into this technological age, because it's clear for all of us as humans, right? We're moving into a technological age where everything is going to be facilitated by AI, by artificial intelligence, by algorithms, by robots and machines, right? All the movies that we watched growing up, right? If you've ever seen any robot movie growing up, this is the future that they're pushing us into. Westworld is that show. They want us to live a Westworld life. So crypto is just them being able to use their money to manipulate more matter. Because the whole point of money is to manipulate matter. Masons stole money from Metatron. They stole this monetary math from Metatron so that they can make their minds matter by manipulating men outside of themselves. Do you see all this M energy that I'm going through, the alliterations? Masons. So glad the blindfolds are being removed. Absolutely. Oh, you're right. Absolutely. The BS they've created for control. Absolutely. Lord help us. Like-minded individuals are being awakened. This is facts. Here we are. Jesus died for your sin. Whoever believes in him shall be saved. So again, I am not of sin. So when you tell me that Jesus died for my sins, that has nothing to do with me. And I had to sacrifice my life to Jesus to even learn English so I could understand what you're saying. And I could tell you that when I'm fasting and I'm alone in my space, no one is talking to me about Jesus. When I'm taking my mind and flying around universes, okay, because I can go to universes outside of this universe, yet somehow your religion is only concerned with this universe. I can go to any other universe. They're all elemental. They're all built by minds. Every body is built by a mind communicating. Your religion is trying to teach me that I am not choosing to exist. So now I need a crutch to feel better about who I am. I don't. So then this is where you get projection being perception. And now the white people who believe that Jesus died for their sins are going to justify rape, genocide, and murder. And that's how America was created. By this religious mindset justifying genocide because they believe that someone died for their own sins. It's so evil. And then if you're trying to conjure Jesus back from the dead and you're waiting for him to come back, then Angeli says that that's necromancy law. Or at the very least, I'm using Angeli's comment to let you know that that's necromancy. Like Christianity says, don't practice necromancy, but you're waiting for a dead man to come back and save you from right now? Like, you're not making any sense. You're just, you're just flip-flopping and then sliding off the cliff and breaking all your bones. Like, that is so silly. Don't practice necromancy. You don't need to wait for the dead to come back and save you from yourself. You could just do what Jesus did. You could fast, be alone with yourself, work through your own sins, work through your own trauma, and then have your own personal relationship with God that can't be policed by a white supremacist. Because that's all people are trying to do with spirituality out here. It's just white supremacists policing our connection with God. That's why we're not allowed to do DMT in America, but we can drink alcohol. Europeans let us drink alcohol, but we can't smoke a plant. That's no calories. Alcohol is calories and it poisons your body, but you can't smoke a plant. You can't do ayahuasca to connect with God because the system wants you to go to church. On Sunday, they want you to start every week worshiping their idea of incest, their idea of all of us being one family. So now when you go to work on Monday, you're going to connect on supporting their idea of how we're all one man. And then this is where on Mars Day, on Tuesday, now you're supposed to get really passionate about expressing how you connect with this one man and the one holy person that is making everything possible. And then this is where they weaponize my energy, right? They weaponize Mercury. Now they're going to teach you that you need to build their body by communicating your passions into something that makes sense. And then this is where Thursday, once you communicated your passions into something that makes sense, you're going to expand on that. Thursday, Jupiter, expansion. From there, once you expand upon all the passions that made sense to communicate, what are you going to do? You're going to indulge in your love and your desires because you succeeded. That's Friday. Last day of the week. Now you get to take a break. Oh, we expanded our Mercury. We built our body. We were passionate about expressing our love for God. Now we can indulge in Friday. We can indulge in Venus. We can indulge in love and pleasure and desires. And then from there, after Friday, what's the last day of the week? You make that return. Saturn's day. So now it's all about gaining restriction. Now it's all about the Sabbath, right? This is what Jews practice because they stole it from Mercury. They're objectively telling you that Saturn's day is the Sabbath because you're supposed to draw your boundary and reflect upon everything that you did for that week before you go into the next Sunday, because Sunday is going to be a new cycle. So now the next Sunday, you're going to go to church again. You're going to get back into the spirit again, the spirit of white supremacy, and then you're going to support climate change. Yep. Absolutely. I'm one-on-one with divine when meditating. Exactly. Shine bright, Courtney. When you as an infinite individual are meditating and connecting with your idea of God, it's going to be one-on-one because you're going to realize at some point that God is you. But you as a space created this human body so that you could be turned off to who you were before. So now this whole life is you reawakening to who you were. That's the whole point. So if we're all going to relate with each other, we've all created a circumstance where we can experience the same problems. This is how we're relating right now, right? So Spider-Man, hey, he's Mercury, he's Metatron, but guess what? He doesn't have money, right? The banking system steals his energy, time, and attention, and Spider-Man doesn't get paid for saving the city. The police get paid for Spider-Man doing their jobs. This is literally Masons talking about how they want your Mercury to function. Because Spider-Man is Mercury. So they want your Mercury to support a system that doesn't support you. And that's what slavery is. This is how the New World Order has been weaponizing the energy of Mercury to justify slavery by teaching you that your mind is responsible for building their body. And then that's where we get the people who want to hop in this stream like, oh, you need Jesus. But I don't. Jesus needs me. You can't tell me that I need Jesus. Just say Jesus needs me so I can tell you that I don't need him. But of course, projection, perception, people are only going to project at you what they want you to believe, right? So people are going to tell you that you need Jesus because they want you to need Jesus. If they can get you to believe that you need Jesus, they're going to make infinite money off of you. This is how the banking system has eliminated indigenous peoples throughout North, South, and Central America. Whoa, true. Talk to him, King. All that stuff is still happening, literally. Just like the movie Avatar. Literally. Absolutely like the movie Avatar. Fucking colonizer story, right? They're obsessed with talking about how white people have nothing if they're not stealing from black people. But then they always have to project onto the black people that they're stealing from that we have nothing. If we have nothing, leave us alone. If we have nothing, why'd you put the Egyptian pyramid on your money? If we have nothing, why are you obsessed with stealing from Mesoamerican cultures? The contradictions are insane, and we have to protect ourselves from people who contradict themselves, basically. Honestly, like, because at this point, people who contradict themselves, they're snakes and not in the positive way. Like a snake is not positive or negative. Every animal is balanced, right? This is where white supremacy, they love to villainize animals because these white supremacist religions just hate nature. Jeez. But when you look at Egypt and you look at indigenous cultures, they love all animals. They worship the snake because the snake is really intelligent. It's really cunning. It represents your Kundalini energy, honestly. It represents your spine. That's what we're talking about here. Your Caduceus being your Kundalini and your Chi looking like snakes, looking like serpents that allow you to twist and turn your body, right? If you didn't have Chi energy, if you didn't have electricity branching out through your spine, then your snake kundalini would not be able to twist and turn your muscles. You would not be able to manipulate your body if you did not have chi being conducted through your caduceus. Again, you can go to chaseyourgenes.com to learn way more about this. Okay. But we're just talking facts, right? Every time I'm up here, I'm talking straight facts, because I really like for people to come in and say, oh, you're not speaking facts. And then I'd like for them to say what facts are. And they always end up saying, oh, well, facts are that you need someone that you've never met. And then they never can understand the universe. I can literally talk to you about how to create a universe right now. I can tell you how to create heaven right now. I can tell you how to be happy alone right now. I can tell you how to never need another religion again right now. I can tell you how to fly. Take your mind as a Merkaba. When you go Google the Merkaba and you see it's taken from Metatron, this is me as Metatron telling you that your mind is your Mercury. That's your Merkaba, your spaceship that you're using to fly through existence right now. Right now. So your body is simply a structure that grounds your spaceship. Think of your body as an anchor for your mind, but your mind is the ship. Your mind is what matters when you're building relationships, right? When I'm building a relationship with someone, I don't care about their body. I care about their mind. Always. Right? This is natural, right? God, this is what makes us human, I think. Everyone knows that a human is determined by the mind, not the body. The problem with racism, the problem with white supremacy is that people are lost in the body. Right. So now, because my body looks a certain way, you get to tell me that I'm not smart because you were taught by white supremacists that people of color are not smart. And this is all you justifying genocide. So now you get to enslave the people that you're stealing your wisdom from, because you in your ego are projecting out that we were created by one man that we've never met. But you have to use your language to teach us about this man. But then when I learn about this man that created me, that's not me when I'm alone. I know when I'm alone with God, he does not support slavery. He does not support genocide. He does not support child sex trafficking. He does not support destroying the environment. But the people who teach me that we're all one God make money off of all these things. They make a lot of money doing all these things. And that's what every Marvel movie is about. Watch Iron Man. Right? Like Iron Man is literally just that. Them talking about making money off genocide. Basically every Marvel movie. Because that's what's relatable. That's what's relatable. They can only make money off of what's relatable. They're talking about themselves in all these movies. They're talking about how they've been making money off of genocide and acting like it's peace. And humans are the ones supporting it because humans don't have empathy for other humans. The only reason people support genocide, you know how many Christians I've talked to who told me that the genocide of indigenous peoples were okay and it's okay to support it because it's in God's will? Too many to count. I grew up as an indigenous man in a white culture. I've been listening to white people tell me that the genocide against my ancestors was justified because we're all one God being used. But they can't tell me why Mercury is Odin, Tahuti, or Hermes. They fucked up. They're on borrowed time. They truly are on borrowed time, and they're not getting away with shit. I promise. Their souls stink in the astral realm. They may look like they're getting away with shit here. Their vibration smells. You can't run away from the energy you produce, guys. You really cannot run away from the energy you produce. Your energy is what makes your body run. But you do have to produce the energy to run. That's why my body, it won't move if my mind does not feel like communicating. The moment I stop feeling like communicating, I go to sleep. Right? If my mind can just, go to sleep. Just drop my head right there real quick. Because my mind stopped communicating. I have to very intentionally keep my mind activated by combining my ego and my soul, my frequency and my vibration, to generate the energy that can matter right now. And I'm always doing that right now. So you're always making energy to make your body matter. Always. Whoever's telling you that you don't create energy is a fucking liar. And they're causing climate change. I promise they are the system that's destroying the environment because all they're doing is eating energy that was already created and saying that no one can create new energy. So we're all doomed to destroy the environment we're in. This is what's causing climate change. And this is the same system that does not fast. The same system that does not fast to heal its body is going to say that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but you need to worship the one true God because he could fast to talk to God, but no one else can, and no one else can create energy. And we're all just here on a dead rock in the middle of space. Worshipping Wednesday. It's so not smart. And that's why it can't stand very long, because humans are not supposed to be this dumb. No one came here to be this dumb. You know, like no one was born into the reality like, all right, God wants me to be a dummy. God doesn't want me to be able to create healthy connections. It's insane. Let me look at these comments. That's why comedians get a pass at talking about what are normally taboo subjects and topics. Makes it easier to digest. Right. And that's what I'm realizing I have to do, Ego Ascendo. I'm gonna have to go into the joke territory. Because this is the thing. Jews use jokes to communicate about genocide. So when you see all these comedians making money off of Illuminati shit, this is all the Judeo religion, literally. So when you go look up the Illuminati and everything with the New World Order and comedians and stuff, they're all practicing that religion, that culture, the Abrahamic religion of, oh, we're all one God. And because I believe that God died for my sins, I get to sin now. This is what they believe. They believe that because God gave them permission to do whatever they want, they get to do it. That's why the banking system will come into indigenous lands and say, oh, your life is worth $100 and I have $1 million. So now I can buy all your lives. But that was a system they made up. They made that system up by stealing all these ideas from Mercury and other indigenous individuals to teach you that you yourself are not God. But then somehow that God needs you to worship how you're not God, because that's a healthy parent-child relationship. Here's the thing, guys. You just have to think about it a little more empathetically. Just like a little more empathetically. Would a healthy parent want their child to worship them forever? Because that's definitely no parent that I want. And that's not the kind of parent I am. Do you think Odin raised Thor and told Thor, hey, Thor, you need to worship me forever? Or did Odin tell Thor, hey, Thor, you're an infinite individual. You do not have to live up to my fucking shadow or my building. You're your own person. Infinite individual. Which parenting method seems healthier? The parent telling the child, worship me forever, or the parent telling the child, you are independent, you are individual? Which one? Because that's how we need to look at this religion. Just empathetically like that, like a parent raising a kid. If you're raising your own child, would you tell your child that they need to worship you and sacrifice their life to you forever because they're not good enough to be alone? Because that's not the, no, that's not the, no, that's just, that is not the kind of father that anyone needs. No one needs that kind of father. No one needs to have a father telling them that they're not good enough to be alone. God loves y'all and he's coming back soon. So again, you're saying God is going to come back soon. So you're saying Jesus is God. Jesus created everything. But again, you can't even tell me why you worship Wednesday as the middle of the week. every single Christian who wants to tell me that Jesus died for my sins can't even tell me who Odin is. They can't tell me who Hermes is. They can't tell me who Tahuti is. They can't tell me who Trismegistus is. They can't tell me who Quetzalcoatl is. They can't talk to me about Hermeticism. They can't talk to me about Zoroastrianism. They can't talk to me about history. All they're doing is projecting at me that I need something that is fundamentally destroying the environment we are in right now. No. Hum day, crazy. God does love everyone. Yes, sir. Yeah, so here's the thing. God loves everybody. The whole point is that you, as an individual God, are supposed to love yourself. Once you love yourself, you love everybody that you connect with. So don't project God out here like, oh, this God loves everybody. No, you love everybody because everybody makes you possible. God loves us because we bring God to life. God would not exist if we were not here as humans communicating. So yes, God does love everybody, but take that to yourself. You're supposed to love everybody. Don't feel like, oh, I can hate people because God loves people. No, you love people. You can't tell other people who they love. And not everyone has the same relationship with love, too. So when you come up here saying a word, oh, this person loves you, you very well don't even know what love is. And that's really America as well. All these people talking about Jesus loves you, so please support genocide, rape, and murder and ignore your ancestors. Fuck your ancestors. Fuck your indigenous history. Worship genocide. That's what these religions are saying. And that's what the people who spread these religions are saying. And that's why America is the way it is today. And now everyone's complaining about problems they've been causing with this religious mindset. So I'm going to be fasting and I'm going to be up here drawing and talking like this because when I'm fasting, I'm going to just have more energy. I'm going to be doing the thing. It'll be cool. And yeah, I'm about to have to be communicating in jokes because this is how the Judeo system operates. They get to tell you everything that they do behind closed doors out in the open. But because they do it in jokes, people don't take it seriously enough to hold them accountable. That's the witchcraft here. So now because the system makes jokes about the genocide that it uses to oppress you, you laugh at it and you accept it. And this is the witchcraft of comedy, how they use jokes to make us accept a fucked up reality. We should not be accepting the premise of these jokes. And let me take it to a grounded level, because this is something I hated in college. I never liked it when I would interact with people and they made jokes about how they hate themselves. Or when I'm interacting with people and they make jokes about how they don't mean anything. Because I think about myself in that case. And I literally think about myself from an individual perspective. Why would I as an individual want to interact with someone who doesn't feel like they are worth their own time? And there's so many people like that in the world. Where, like, especially at school, I'd be talking to people, spending time with people who did not feel like they were worth their own time. Shit. Fuck. Thank you for teaching me about yourself. Let me remove my ass from this equation, because this is not a math problem that I'm trying to solve. The problem of why you create your own problems? No, thank you. That's not me. Please ask God to show you the truth. You're led so far from it. See, so I am as close with God as I possibly can be, especially when fasting. And that's what's gnarly, is that I can be speaking directly from God and someone else with their own ego is going to project onto me that I need to ask God to show me the truth, while they're the ones invading my land. They're the ones living underneath my weekday structure. They're the ones worshiping Mercury as the middle of the week, but they're going to say that I need their idea of God because they're in their ego. This is what's causing climate change. Hilarious. Please, everyone, close your ears from this man. He was thoughts wrong and misleading everyone. You meant to say taught, so you might want to retype that. before you try to come at me. Oh, you did fix it. Taught wrong. And who was I taught wrong by? Because you can't even tell me. I'm telling you how life is created. I'm literally giving you the mind of a God right now. God made the universe. Are you going to deny that? God is fire, universe is water. You as a space are alone in your idea of God before you create water that lets you vibe with other forms of water. If you don't give a fuck about fire and water and you don't care about elements, then you're the one who's causing climate change. You're the one who's acting like you care about God, but then you're going to destroy the environment that God made for you because you don't actually care about God. You just care about eating what you want. And then you care about destroying the environment that lets you eat because God gave you permission to hurt other people while you go to heaven. But this is all love, right? It's all about, oh, well, God loves us, so you're not an individual. God loves you and you need to serve him. No, that's hate. My God loves me, so he likes me to be an individual. If you're going to say your God loves me, so I need to serve him, that's not my God. And again, if you as a Christian, as a Jew, or as a Muslim, or any denomination of these religions, if you are living in Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I've got you. You can't deny that what I'm saying is facts. I've already got you. You're already worshiping Wednesday as the Spider-Man, as the middle of the week, as the planet that holds all the other planets together. You're already having witchcraft practiced against you. So you can't even see how I, the space that built Mercury, am the God that makes this universe work. And I'm telling you that we're all individually God. I'm not going to take responsibility for your ugly ass soul. If you feel like you have sins that you're running from, that has nothing to do with me as an individual. But you're going to project that onto me because of your ego. Your ego is your God. So now your idea of God is telling me that I'm not God. But now I can teach you about Wednesday and you're going to be here eating my wisdom saying that I'm a liar. Man, see, this is literally how white people stole this entire land from indigenous individuals, from needing our energy, from needing to consume our creations while telling us that we're not the creators. And that's how they justify genocide. And then they're going to say, oh, indigenous peoples don't know anything. Let's just steal everything from them and say that one man is created in everything and he's manipulating everyone because that's smarter than understanding elements. Oh, my God. Goal of life was to replace objective reality with VR imagination forever. Sorry, needed good deeds. Hilarious. I mean, that's the goal of the metaverse. Things aren't random. You live in the computer age, human brain phone, not another time. Life was a very serious zero-sum game, survival of the fittest. Goal is to create VR heaven. VR heaven, living in your own VR, enhanced imagination safely forever. Yeah, continued strife. That's exactly what the metaverse is, right? That's exactly what Masons are making with the metaverse. And that's why we're all supposed to be scared of breathing air right now. We were all taught that the air is dangerous. Don't trust other people. Keep getting shot with injections that don't work because you need to stay inside and support virtual reality. So this is all a mind game of the New World Order making humans think that it's safer to interact in the metaverse than in real life. But all they're going to do with the metaverse is do what they've been doing with Facebook, which is steal your time, energy, information, attention, and fuck your mind up with it while they make money. I wish I had money to actually open up CymaTree's metaverse, but that's not the position that Spirit has put me in. That's not the position that this reality has put me in. I'm literally living a Spider-Man life where I can't afford my place, but I'm literally the space that built this universe. And I can talk to you about it forever, but I have to figure out how I'm going to make money off of my own creations. Because right now, the banking system has made infinite amounts of wealth, making everyone serve Wednesday as Woden's Day, but no one even knows why Woden and Mercury are connected. No one knows that Odin is the space that built Mercury, and Mercury is its own heaven separate from everyone else's heaven. So yeah, when you're talking about this VR heaven, Mercury itself is a heaven that when I take my mind and leave this hell, I'm in hell here. I promise you, this is hell. This place is the worst. When I take my mind from this body and go back to Mercury, I'm in heaven because I'm alone in my own space. I got all my nature. I got my waterfalls. I got my trees. I got my fucking plants. I got my atmosphere, earth, all the nature stuff. I can hang out there. I'm happy. Then I realize why I'm alone, and I have the ability to come back into this body and use this English language to talk to you about what Mercury actually means. I'm in hell here. I'm in heaven when I'm alone, but when I'm in heaven, I can't talk to you. So now I have to bring my experiences from heaven, come back into hell, and share them through this body. And that's what we're all doing. That's every religion then. So if a religion is trying to teach you to go to heaven, I promise you, they stole Hermeticism. They just stole the basic knowledge of what I just told you right now, and they're weaponizing it against you. That's why they still want you to worship Wednesday as Woden's Day. They couldn't have their own weekday structure because they don't even have their own ideas. Did I outline this? I did outline it. Okay. But I have to figure out, am I going to make these web shooters straight up Dragon Balls? I mean, I might as well, right? I might as well. I just have to figure out, yeah, their structure or some shit. Yeah. Yeah, as a Christian, I take care of the world. I respect it because it's God's creation. Again, those are just words. You're supporting a system that pollutes the air, pollutes the water, pollutes the environment, and you learned about your religion from a system that is actively destroying nature. So in your imagination, you take care of the world, but objectively, as a human living an American lifestyle, you throw trash away because you're supporting a system that does not take care of the world. You drive cars. You support these technologies that shoot pollution into the air because you are objectively not taking care of the world. So for some reason, Christians act like destroying the world is taking care of the world. And that's literally how they made all of America, stealing everything from indigenous peoples and saying, oh, we'll take care of this for you. Oh, you have your own land? We'll take care of this for you. We love you. Give us your freedom. Hilarious. Your beliefs don't matter. Despite lack of consent, you are subject to the laws of nature. Golden rule required acting your best in accordance with your conscience despite what others did. I mean, beliefs do matter. If you didn't believe in yourself, you wouldn't be alive. So you can't say beliefs don't matter. If you didn't believe in your heartbeat, you wouldn't have a heartbeat. If you didn't believe in your own thoughts, you wouldn't have a name and no one would care about your name. So you can't say beliefs don't matter. Have you watched Naruto before? That sounds like an infinite genjutsu. And absolutely, right? Virtual reality, for sure. Genjutsu, using light to manipulate what people see. So now they feel trapped in an atmosphere that they did not create. So whoever practiced genjutsu on you is your god. Thank you, Ego Ascendo. That's great connection. Literally. Because this is how the fucking Wizard of Oz views it, right? The guy behind the curtain. He's the fucking genjutsu god. Man, Naruto is straight up stolen from Zoroastrianism. Like everything in Naruto is them taking what Mercury already brought to Earth and making you view spells like this. So somehow people will be Christian and say, oh, Jesus is the only one who can walk on water. But then they're going to watch Naruto where every character can walk on water. Where's the disconnect? Learn how to spin your chakras. It's about your chakras. It's about chi. It's about chi and your chakras. The whole point of Jesus walking on water is that you can also walk on water like Naruto, like Sasuke, like Sakura, even Rock Lee, right? Rock Lee, he doesn't have ninjutsu, but he can still spin his chakras to generate the chi that allows his body to stand on water or be Spider-Man. Every character in Naruto is Spider-Man. They can all climb on walls. They can all stick to any surface because of chi. So this is hermetic. All right. They stole all this shit from Mercury. All they're doing is selling it to you in a bunch of different ways because that's how they make money. Selling ideas that they stole and whitewashing them. So when you look at Naruto, Naruto is actually Quetzalcoatl. And you look at Kurama, Kurama is actually Anubis. So now you can go Google Hermanubis, and you're going to see that when Tahuti and Anubis combine their energy, they become Hermanubis. This is where the idea of Naruto came from, historically. Historically, the idea of Naruto having a tailed beast that he is best friends with and he pulls energy from is exactly the relationship that Hermes and Anubis have, that Quetzalcoatl and Anubis have. And they got all that shit from Zoroastrianism. So it's all about Mercury. It's all about your mind building your body. So when you watch Naruto, every character in there knows what I'm talking about. Like, if I were to talk to any character in there, they'd be like, oh, absolutely. That's the only fucking way I make any genjutsu or any ninjutsu or any jutsu matter. What you're saying right now, Chase, thank you. My mind does build my body. No shit. That's the only way I could spell out anything, right? Like, you couldn't even spell if your body built your mind. I really need to figure out what these web series are going to look like. I probably have to focus. In fact, I'll come back. I'm about to take a little break, but I'll come back in minutes. God bless you, and may you be delivered from the evil one. See, you're telling me that I'm with the evil one when I've been fasting for years and have no evil in my space. A good person loves to be alone. Evil people hate to be alone. I love being alone too much. That's what Hermeticism is. I can't run away from being myself. Hermeticism is me talking to you about why you should also love being alone. It makes you a good person. When you love being alone, you're a good person. Evil people are the people who hate to be alone. Guess what? Can you say it with me, guys? I'm about to say a phrase. You're going to know it once I say it. 3, 2, 1. Misery needs company. So now it's no wonder why Facebook changed their name to Meta, and their company is based off of misery. Misery needs company. That's what these religions are. Any religion teaching you that you are not good enough alone needs to make a company off of your misery. So yeah, you're going to teach me that I'm evil because that's how you make money off of perceiving me the way that I don't perceive myself. I know I'm not evil, but now I can interact with people who say I'm evil because they want to make money enslaving me on their religion. So that's a genocide of indigenous peoples in a nutshell. But if I were evil, you wouldn't even be able to be in my land. If I were evil, Mercury would not be a day of the week because I would not be sacrificing myself to hold planets together that you don't even understand. Hell is existing forever in diabolical torture. Perfect life, God instinctually abhors imperfection. I mean, yeah, hell is existing forever in diabolical torture. That's this reality, right? We're being tortured in this physical world. And if you wanted to live here forever, you would stay stuck in hell. To be with God is to be separate from your body. And that's the difference of the mind and the body. The body is demonic, but your space is godly. But you being in a body, you feel separate from your space. And then it takes you using your mind to go back to your space to remember why God gave birth to you. Only I can tell people why God made me. Anyone else teaching me why God made me is trying to make me a slave to their desires. It's as simple as that. God himself created you. You created nothing. You never will. None of us will. Wake up for your sake. See, that's so sad that I'm here explaining all these in and outs of Mercury, and you're just going to tell me that God created me. God created everything I'm talking about. I'm not an individual. I've never created anything. I'm just experiencing shit that I don't understand. That's a projection of you. That's literally only you. That's what? Ha 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 ha. We are co-creators. Thank you, Lady Macbeth. That one. Duh. We're co-creators right now. if you go outside and start talking to someone, you're going to co-create a new atmosphere with them. The moment you go start talking to someone that you weren't talking to before, you're creating a new branch of reality. It's not that hard. We are always co-creating. The moment someone teaches you that you're not co-creating, anyone who's teaching you that you're not a creator is a colonizer, because they still need your creation, but they don't want you to feel like you are consensually sharing your creations. They want you to feel like you need to share something that you didn't make so that they can eat whatever you're providing. And this is, again, how Europeans justify the genocide of the indigenous individuals that they stole all of America from. They justify stealing everything from Mercury and using it to say that Mercury is not an individual. Yes, I am. Tahuti, Hermes, Odin, all one ego, all one individual. And history knows this. That's why they can't even run from history. They're weaponizing history to sell you lies. That's why we know Wednesday is Woden's Day, Tahuti Day, Hermes Day, and Mercurius Day. Spider-Man Day. All these past lives connected by the Spider-Man that is Mercury. You're going to sacrifice yourself? I mean, we sacrifice ourselves every day. I'm sacrificing myself right now by talking to you. If it was up to me, I wouldn't be speaking a language I didn't create, right? I wouldn't be living in a world that's ruled by white supremacy. But because it's not up to me, then I have to make sacrifices to connect with individuals outside of myself. So if all these humans are going to be here supporting genocide and white supremacy, I have to sacrifice my individuality to choose to be born into this reality where I can relate with them about that. And I had to do it in a way that makes sense to them. So now I have to speak English. I have to speak and do things that I would not otherwise do when I'm alone, because I'm sacrificing myself to serve a system that is destroying the environment. I don't want to, but I have to talk to you, right? To talk with all of us. Justice will be served. I sure hope so. I'm still figuring out this web shooter. This is comedy. It's going to just be okay, I'm formulating it. I'm seeing it in my head real quick. That new show is coming out about Wednesday from the Addams Family. I don't even know what that is. They're making a show about Wednesday. Weird, but usually only for another physical thing. Wow, truth. Absolutely awesome. Everything's about death. Yes. Sub-Zero Spider-Man Goku is my favorite version of Deadpool. Hilarious. Hilarious. So do we have to have war some more? No. We do not have to have war. War is a white supremacist construct that they're using to make money off of chaos. But we don't have to have chaos, right? So that's Avatar. Avatar is stolen from Mercury. It's all about you balancing your own elements. Okay, they stole all that shit from me. That's why I can talk to you way better about elements than anyone who worked on Avatar. You know, objectively, they simply just stole ideas from the Library of Alexandria. They stole ideas from the libraries around the indigenous world, and they're selling it back to us in TV shows because they saw that they were already working back then. So now they're working in a new way today. And they're working to make money for the New World Order. So they're selling our spirituality back to us. But the whole point of you being the avatar, you as an infinite individual, is you balancing your fire, water, air, and earth so that your blood can be at peace. And now your blood isn't trying to fight other blood cells, right? You're not a blood cell that wants to hurt or take over other blood cells. You're whole inside yourself. You're happy alone. Now you can build flesh that is harmonious instead of building flesh that's chaotic or building flesh out of rape, warfare, genocide. And now everyone has this physical generational trauma associated with all the history of war or whatever. You don't have to do that when you know that you're the avatar. If you don't know that you're the avatar, well, I mean, yeah, you're about to do everything I just talked about. Because you literally don't know how your elements work. You don't know where you're coming from. If you want to draw, drop the iPad, get a proper Kintique. I don't know what that is, but it sounds kind of cool. If someone tries to keep you from drinking water, the Intuos 5 works pretty well if you can't afford a Cintiq. Okay, so these are two different drawing pads that I'm being recommended. Thank you guys. If Spirit wants to hook me up with money, all right, again, I'm living my Spider-Man lifestyle of not having money right now. I'm spreading this wisdom. I'm paying money to teach people shit that was stolen from me. Like, that's how deep in hell I am. Okay. So just know I don't like this place, but I'm choosing to be here because I love other people and I don't want this environment to get fucked up. So I care about climate change. That's been my MO for the last 25 years. It's just evolved every year based on how I can address climate change or whatever. I think that is what the web shooter will look like. Yeah, fuck it. Well, I have to make it look the same here now. Damn. Drawing is hilarious. See, and this is a physical representation of how the imagination becomes real, right? So I, as an individual space, have to imagine my idea of God. And my idea of God is what I want to create, right? So everyone is lost in saying God created everything, but you can't even explain everything. So you can't say that one person created everything when you can't explain it. You need to speak for yourself and understand what you created. You can talk about what you created, but if you're not even going to take responsibility for creating your own body and creating your own mind, yeah, you're a walking zombie who's trying to eat my brain at that point. And that's, by the way, the actual creation of the Americas. A bunch of white zombies coming over, eating the brains of indigenous peoples and saying, give me more brains, more flesh. We sacrifice the body of Jesus and we drink the blood of Christ because we as zombies need to be saved from our old world. Give us your new world, indigenous people. That's literally all, like, that's the entire history of the Americas. It's just people don't care because people just aren't empathetic. Like, these cultures, white culture explicitly, it's been taught to not be empathetic. That's why it supports slavery. That's why we just now started saying Black Lives Matter. What? You're just now going to start saying that as if that's revolutionary? When really you're just trying to make me identify more as black, and I didn't create that label. So again, it's more white supremacy. You should be saying Indigenous lives matter. But obviously, if America believed Indigenous lives mattered from an empathetic standpoint, America would not exist. Fundamentally, if America believed in actually spreading peace and love, it would not have fundamentally stolen this land from indigenous peoples. And that's why it's baffling. Like, I have commenters being like, oh, the indigenous peoples lost the war. What war? The Christians were claiming to come in love and peace. What, the war of people lying to us? People, like, fine, yeah, we lost the social war. We were too loving to people who are using love to steal our land. And they're still doing it today. So now Christians are still using love to steal our land because it's a war that we're losing. Like, that's what the commenters are saying. So fuck it. Dreaming is traveling. Absolutely, Tiki. Dreaming is traveling. So when you're dreaming, you are separating from your body and you're exploring other atmospheres. And in those atmospheres, because they're lighter atmospheres, you can die, right? You can die with not many repercussions because it's a lighter version of here. So think about down here. If your body died, you would have to use your mind to be born again here. That's a whole process, right? You would have to find parents again. You would have to be raised again. You know, that's why people cling on to this body so hard because we invested so much time into our lives, right? We put so much memory into these bodies that we don't want to lose those memories, right? But when you're dreaming, those are lighter memories. So that's basically the difference of earth and water. Okay, so you can think of this realm as earth. That's what we call it. So you can think of it like that because they stole this shit from me and that's what we call it. This realm is earth because this is where we ground our minds. But the astral realm is water because that's where we connect with our minds. So when you're dreaming, you're always connecting with your own mind. And then this is where people will get lost in projecting what happened in dreams onto other people in their life. But if you're dealing with something in your dream where someone does something, that's basically you talking to yourself. But you're using the image of someone that you're familiar with to do that because the image of that person represents something to you that you don't represent to yourself. So if you have a best friend that kills you in your dream, that doesn't mean you should wake up and be upset at your best friend because they're esoterically against you. But it does mean that you should reflect upon your relationship with that friend, think about where it's going, and think about whether this friend is actually someone who wants to help you or hinder you. Because do be warned, as we can see with the creation of the Americas, that you, as a spiritual individual, can very well make friends with people who act like they want to help you so they can hinder you. That's all white people have done here. So when white people came to the Americas, they act like they want to help us only so they can hinder us, right? They act like they want to be our friend just so that when we sign those treaties, they steal more of our land. And then they act like they want to be our friend again so that when we sign another treaty, they can then steal more of our land. So watch out. Religion is made by Satan, not one person made it. Sounds like you think they made it. Okay, see, Chuck, you can't say Satan made religion as if you have a personal relationship with Satan and Satan is a human that can write out religions. Religions are made by humans that want to make their cultures real. Religions are cultural. You can't just say religion itself is made by one individual that you haven't met and that no one's met. What religions are cultural. We can track religions to ethnic groups. You can't just say one individual owns all ethnic groups. That's more white supremacist thinking. You're not allowing individuals to take responsibility for their individuality. You're trying to say that every individual in existence is controlled by someone that they've never met, that we've never met. That's a projection of your ego and your very limited understanding. Hey, Tiki's been fasting for 4 days. Yo. Hey. This is a little celebration for Tiki. Congratulations, Tiki. Yeah, that's fire. Gnosis. There's a different perspective on oneself. I love that. So the boundary is Saturn's rings, but Saturn is losing its rings. That means that we're losing boundaries. Oh, hilarious. Bro got schizophrenic. I'm out. Well, leave then, not baked. You're asking me about Saturn's rings and Saturn losing its rings, which means we're losing boundaries. See, that's a schizophrenic question. Projection perception forever, bro. Like, how are you going to turn around and say I'm schizophrenic when you're asking me if we're losing boundaries because Saturn's losing rings? What the Yo, people are silly. People are silly. And I'm still going to answer your question even though you left because you're saying I'm schizophrenic. No. We are not losing our boundaries because Saturn is losing its rings. That has nothing to do with anything. That's so funny that he said I was schizophrenic and that he's out after asking that question. Fuck it. Just weed yourselves out and that's fine. Because, I mean, the whole point is we're all learning together anyway. I'm clearly saying shit that you're not going to hear from anyone else because no one else is the space of Mercury. Everyone's simply using my creations to make money for themselves, but they're only doing it in the most ignorant way possible. So now everyone is worshiping Wednesday is Mercury Day, but no one can really even know how the mind builds the body. And people just want to keep projecting out that someone else built everything. So now no one has to take responsibility for anything. God damn, getting this symmetrical too is like, I was told by someone not to say symmetrical. And I stopped saying symmetrical. So there's that. But here I am saying it again. Supposedly you're supposed to say symmetric. It's about symmetry. Symmetric, but not symmetrical. The col is like extra or whatever. How to make this symmetrical? I think the col is just fun to add. Symmetric. Symmetric feels like I'm cutting it off too early. What do you mean it's not symmetric? It's definitely symmetrical. But nah, I was told it's symmetric, and looking it up, it's seemingly correct. So see, I did not invent English. So these are not rules that I made up. But because I know myself and I know who I am, it's not hard to learn about the rules that are made up and then use them to benefit my own knowledge. Right? So that's why these words are all their own knowledge, but then I can use these words to express more of my knowledge than the people who made this language. Why is that? How come I can express way more about spirituality with a language I didn't even invent than the people who use this language to steal land from indigenous individuals? That's a question that I'm low-key still asking God. And the answer has always led me back to Mercury. So again, you can't tell me what my relationship with God is. This is my relationship with God. More cringy hand gestures. You don't need Jesus and Jesus doesn't need you. I mean, that's okay. Thanks, Chuck. Chuck. So funny. I was taught my whole life that I need Jesus. So you just being here saying I don't need Jesus and Jesus doesn't need me, you're the first person that I've actually heard say that. Cool. And you're only saying that because I said the opposite and you just want to be a contrarian. Why are you here? If you need race to make a point, you might be racist. Yeah, that's what I agree with that. I wish I didn't have to think about race. I wish my indigenous individuality was not being erased by race. White and black are not races. These are colors. Again, like, yeah, absolutely. It's so funny when people come in here thinking that they're disagreeing with me and I'm actually agreeing with them. Because it's really just people trying to fight. What's your opinion on race? Exactly what I just said. Right? So race, it's colors. As in, it's how we think about race today is colors meant to erase the actual cultures that were individually representing themselves. So there are so many indigenous cultures here that did not identify as colors. But because this religious banking system wants to use colors to erase us, now I, as a Catawba man, am forced to identify as black. And all the British European people can be right. They can be white. It's witchcraft. It's witchcraft. If they should not be killing us, what do we do with them? Okay, Tiki, so that's what I'm talking about here. This universe is a whole soul trap. Okay, so we don't have to get stuck in this universe. The whole point of us being here is to learn how to be better individuals. We're not in control of individuals outside of ourselves. But if the individuals outside of ourselves are saying that one God gave them permission to murder us and steal our land, and we don't agree with that, this is where we have to take responsibility for all being God. And it's not that we're all one individual. We are all our own infinite individuals choosing to kill our egos so we can create a circumstance where we feel like humans. And that's why if you ever express too much of your individuality as a human, other humans are going to say, you're in your ego. Okay? Yeah, here we go. Tiki says, I believe we are all one. No, because when I'm alone in my space, I don't see any of you guys. When I'm alone in my space, it's just me and my past lives. And considering none of you can teach me about my past lives, no, we are not all one. Every space is one inside of itself. So Tahuti, Hermes, and Odin, they're all one because they're all Mercury. But Mercury is a space separate from you. That's why you can't teach me about Mercury. I have to share Mercury's wisdom with you because we are two separate individuals. And that's the point of us communicating. And then that's where whatever knowledge you made up or whatever ideas you've invented, I wouldn't say that I invented those. I would let you teach me about them. And then I would have to learn who you are based on your own ideas. I would have to learn where you're coming from. And then at that point, I would just have to start calling you a name so I can associate your soul with a label, right? And that's why we have names. So now every time someone says your name, they associate memories, right? They associate experiences with your label. You're not that label. You're not these memories, and you are not these experiences. You are a space separate from all other spaces, and you're choosing to create a body right now that allows you to feel like you are something. So this is the difference between nothing and something. Your nothing is your space, and your something is your structure. And what connects these things is your soul. If your soul does not feel like your something matters, this is where you get depressed. When you know that nothing matters and you know that, you make something matter. You're never going to be depressed ever again. You feel me? Like you're never going to have a mental problem ever again because your mind's going to be lighter. This is, again, Jesus walking on water. You're not going to drown in your emotions. You're going to walk on the emotions, on the water, on the chaos that brought you to the universe that you're in, because that is the universe. The universe is water. But the universe being chaotic is scary. Right? The universe is scary, right? The ocean is one big universe. That shit's scary. You'll drown. You'll just straight up, you'll be gone because you're drowning in your emotions. You're like, I want to connect with the ocean. Okay, well, your body can't handle the ocean. Right? So that's anyone who especially even wants superpowers and stuff, where if you're not training your body for superpowers, you're not going to be able to handle superpowers. So most of these people out here, oh, shout out 7 Circles. Hey, what's Gucci, Jonathan? We're talking about superpowers. So that's perfect. Most of these people out here who want superpowers will never get them because they're not even preparing their body to be able to handle superpowers. But that's why Marvel shows you that even in that world, Marvel, Dragon Ball Z, right? Even Naruto, they show you that just because there are people who can walk on water, it does not mean everyone can. Just because there are people who can fly does not mean everyone can. Just because one guy got bit by a spider and he has all these powers doesn't mean that everyone can. Spirituality is always individuality. That's why you can't just have a different main character for a show. Imagine if Naruto was not about Naruto. Would it work? Imagine if Spider-Man was not about Spider-Man. Would it work? Of course not. You are the main character of your own show. And that's the problem with these religions out here. These religions are trying to make you not the main character of your own show. Every time someone comes up here and they're living underneath Wednesday, but they're trying to tell me that I, as a space that made Wednesday possible, need to sacrifice my life to an idea that I can explain better than them. I know that that's not me. I know that when they say that we're one God, that's them in their own ego saying that they wish we were one God. They wish we were one family. And now I see why European culture is obsessed with incest. Incest is so normal in Christian and these religions. And it's subconsciously because they're fundamentally teaching us that we're all one family. Your body is your temple, though. Absolutely. Your body is your temple. And who built your temple? Your mind. Mercury builds the body. And this is why, by the way, Mercury as an air planet is the 4th day of the week, because 4 is Earth. We already know, if you're rolling with CymaTree, you should know that 1 is fire, 2 is water, 3 is air, 4 is earth, which means that 1 is the ego, 2 is the soul, 3 is the mind, 4 is the body. Mercury is the 4th day as an air planet because this is literally the New World Order saying that Mercury is the mind that built the body of Earth. So everything that the New World Order considers Earth is objectively stolen from the mind of Mercury, from Metatron, from Quetzalcoatl, from Zarathustra, Ahura Mazda, from Tahuti Trismegistus, Hermes Trismegistus, Mercurius Termaximus, Odin Trismegistus, Chikatet, many more messengers of Mercury, Ningishzida, Nabu. I don't need to get into all the past lives, but the point of the past lives is that it's Spider-Man. Okay, so Mercury is a Spider-Man that holds the other simulations together so that everyone can conduct business. And that's why the medical health industry uses the caduceus to sell you medicine, but they're not going to teach you that your caduceus is your spine. They're going to force you to sit every day to fuck up your spine, but they're not going to teach you how your body works. It's whack. We have imbalances in our world. Absolutely. Everyone's the avatar. There's only one time. Nothing is borrowed or owed. Everyone has their own idea of time. Time itself is how your soul connects with space. Your soul does not connect with space the same way my soul connects with space. So you have a different sense of time than I do. That's also why I can be an older spirit than you. If you haven't had as many experiences as I have, then how are you going to say that we all have one idea of time when we're not the same individual? So we're not even experiencing the same idea of time. Nah. Depression keeps you pretty still. Yeah. Depression will turn you into a rock. Right? You don't want to get into a rocky mode and get stuck. It's a shame because the rock is basically like being a stoner, but that's where, people who are depressed, they can start to act like people who are really stoned, right? And then that's where people who are really stoned can act like people who are really depressed. So, hail the cosmic energy. Yes, that doesn't make sense. No. Okay. Hilarious. One is fear based. I totally get you. Repeat. It starts glitching when I say something important. You know what? I'll come back. Are you also streaming elsewhere? I am not also streaming elsewhere. That's not true, bro. Hate is a valid emotion. We are allowed to hate. You're allowed to feel whatever you want. You should feel whatever you want. The point is learning about yourself from your own feelings. Yeah, I mean, hate is great. Hate will allow you to separate from shit that is not helpful for you. Hate makes people great. Absolutely. But you should not live in it. Jokes allow you to work through pain. Yes. I feel like the comedians are healing, not deferring action. That's true too. I feel like this fella is paying attention to some YouTube live comments. Nobody else is seeing the ones he's responding to, right? Oh, shoe shine. You're hilarious. We're only on TikTok. This is all TikTok. So I'm only responding to comments that seem like they're on YouTube, I guess, because I still have 42 new messages. So yeah, I'm talking about things that are not directly me replying to the people that are replying to what I'm talking about. I know most of these messages are people building upon what I'm already talking about. So Yeah, I'm getting through them though, because I'm about to take a break, hop off, and I'm about to hop back on in minutes. But if it's cutting out, I've learned that I should take it down and then try again. Yeah, there we go. Ego Sendo. Behind on comments, so I'll catch up eventually. Yeah. I'm here. Speak on it. They were savages, but stole all their shit and locked it up in a museum. Literally. Right. We can't listen to you if we aren't on here. Literally, Tiki, right? We all have to make compromises. We all have to kill our individuality if we don't want to feel alone in the universe. Objectively. That's why we all look human. But then once we're all human, we still look different, right? Like your face doesn't look like my face. All of our faces look different, even though we all have noses and ears and eyes because we're functioning in the same atmosphere, but we're all individuals who do the same things differently. So our bodies are going to show that we're different. Right? If you're someone who likes to do push-ups, your shoulders and chest are going to be more built than someone who doesn't like to do push-ups. You're two different individuals. And then that's where if you're someone who likes to work out, it might frustrate you when someone who doesn't like to work out says that you're all one God. You're like, what the fuck? Your God is lazy. When I'm with my God, I'm super fit. You can't be here as a lazy, unhealthy person saying that we're all the same. I physically see on your body that we're not the same. Your mind is not communicating the same way that my mind is communicating. But then it's always the people who don't like their own individuality who want to tell you that you're not an individual. And that's these religions. That's why the European old world, that's why Europeans felt like they needed to run away from their old world and steal this new world from Native Americans. Objectively, historically, this is why. They objectively don't like being alone with themselves. So now they're going to teach you that you should also not like being alone with yourself because they just built a system out of it. Misery needs company. If they were so primitive, give them their shit back. Right. Speak on it. How many acid trips have you had? Yo, that's the right question. Where's the hilarious? I really thought your title was where's the consent? I was about to high five you esoterically so hard. Where's the content? That's fine. I thought you were saying where's the consent? That was going to be dope. Yeah, I've had probably like over 30 acid trips at this point. Shout out psychedelics. Psychedelic CymaTree. All right. So LSD. Yeah. LSD is the best. LSD will get you close to your space without your mind actually separating from your body. But you will see visuals in this reality based on your connection with the astral realm. But everyone still has a personal relationship with the astral realm. That's why when you have a dream, you don't have the same dream that other people dream. That's, we can all go to sleep tonight, have dreams. We're not going to wake up and know what the other person dreamed because we're not all one God. If we were all one God, we would know what the other person dreamt and we would all be able to relate better. Ugh. Yeah. Heaven on earth. Absolutely. Thursday comes from Thor's Day. Absolutely. Thor's dog. Yeah, it's a funny Norse mythology words. See, but that's what's so funny. Like, that's what's so contradictory about these religions. How are you going to teach people to worship Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, but you're using Norse mythology to do that? You can't do that. You're serving two masters. like you're serving Mercury, but you're weaponizing Mercury to make masonry matter. So now Masons are obsessed with using Metatron and using Mercury to tell you that you don't have your own mind. But they need your mind to feel like you are not your own individual, because that's the only way you're going to serve something that kills other individuals, because they need your energy. That's the Matrix, right? You've seen the Matrix. You've seen how the Matrix is powered by a lot of individual humans. This is what we're talking about. Those individual humans don't feel like their energy matters. So now they're giving their energy to a system that will make it matter. That's the Matrix. If you feel like your energy matters, then you're good. Your body's your matrix. You're not going to plug your body into an extra technological system. Your body's your matrix. Your energy matters. It's your fucking muscles. Like your muscles are the energy that matter. If we didn't have muscles, we wouldn't be able to move anywhere. That matters. Money manipulates the muscles of men. That's the only reason it matters. If money didn't manipulate muscles, we wouldn't give a fuck about money. Draw Brian Griffin. Hilarious. Do you just say whitewash? I'm kidding. There's no original content, or maybe undiscovered content. Well, the whole point is everyone being indigenous means being original. So let me tell you, Mercury is all original content. The point is down here, now that everything's been colonized by the New World Order, nothing's original because the quantum physics scientific system explicitly says energy cannot be created or destroyed. So they're teaching us that we're not original. But I know I'm original. That's how I got here. If I wasn't original, then I wouldn't exist. And I wouldn't have unique thoughts and feelings that only I can observe when I'm alone in my space. So I have to be the origin point of Mercury and everything associated with Mercury, because no one outside of my space can teach me about where I'm coming from. So are we gods? Yes, you are the god of your own space. So to be a god means to be powerful. And then once you as a god create anything, your creation is your responsibility. So your body is your responsibility because you as God made your body to relate with other gods. So you as a god and me as a god, we would not be relatable to each other if we were not both in human bodies. Boom. You use your God power to create something that allows you to build a family with other people. It low-key doesn't go further than that. Like from there, you're going to expand upon your family. You can go create new universes like Odin. You can go create your own 9 realms and go hang out in space and time. But that's still going to be you being an individual, consenting to connecting with other individuals that you want to build a family with. They have line correction. They have line correction. Who has line correction? King Bowser. Are you saying that I can be here drawing and have it not look so fucking crickety? Because look at this shit, bro. Look at this shit. I wish this was straight. I'm like over here speaking and shit, and I like can't even. Man, and that's straight. That's annoying. You know what? I have to pee. So let me read the rest of these comments and I'll take a break and come back. God damn. So everything we have created. So the point is this, Tiki, you have created your own body. And everything that your body is connected to is something that you're choosing to connect to because you want your soul, which is also your creation. You create your own emotions. You create your own emotions. You want to make your emotions relatable with others. So this is the point of your elements. So you create elements. You are the avatar. You create yourself by making fire, water, air, and earth into blood. Look at that. Now I have blood. Here's my blood right here, guys. You see this? Fire, water, air, earth, blood. Once I have blood, what came out of this blood? Flesh. This is me literally teaching you the Ahura Mazda Mercury number system right now. They stole this shit from me. Fire, ego, water, soul, mind, air, earth, body, and then blood is the family. And now the flesh is the simulation. So this flesh body is a simulation that I am creating by transforming my blood, all 5 elements, into something that my mind can manipulate. So my fire is my intention, my water is my connection, my air is my communication, my body is my structure. And then the blood is what allows me to transform my structure, right? So I couldn't just stop at building a body. If I just built blood cells without transforming them, I wouldn't have a mom. I wouldn't have a grandma. I wouldn't have an aunt. I wouldn't have all my nieces and nephews and all these different family members, so many cousins, right? All of my family only happened because I made my earth into blood. And in this case, blood is metal. And then metal becomes flesh. That's why your flesh needs metal to be manipulated. Objectively, and this is in all realms. If you don't have enough minerals or electrolytes in your flesh, right? If you don't have enough metal, your nervous system, your Hermes system, is not going to be able to conduct chi. The oldest line in the book, you should probably do more research. Elaborate. Eating babies? Oh, wow, you should probably do more research. On what? Elaborate, please. I was sparring with somebody else. This guy's onto something. Yeah, cool. Check out his website. It's pretty. It is pretty. All right. I worked kind of diligently on making the website pretty. Thank you, Ego Ascendo. We're all special. Absolutely, Robbie. How many days should a 16-year-old fast? Listen to God about that, but I recommend a solid 5. Do a solid Monday through Friday and then eat Saturday and Sunday. You're so good. You're so good from that. Moses is Caduceus. Moses learned from the Caduceus. He is not the Caduceus because Hermes is way older than Moses. So Moses, they learned from the Caduceus. There's wisdom there, but right. Hermes is way older than that. Energy vampires. If money did not manipulate people's lives with food, water, and shelter, it would not be valued. Absolutely. Literally, shout out Rainbow Matrix. All right. I'm about to come back in minutes. I got to take a break. I'll be right back. We're about to continue talking about Spider-Man, Mercury being the same, how your soul is your Spider-Man quality, the metaverse, the Spider-Verse. It's all about you staying connected with all the bodies that your soul created to relate with other souls. But you have to take responsibility for being the creator, or else your life just doesn't even matter. At that point, what? If you're not the creator, why does your life matter? Don't tell me that someone else created you. Now I don't even want to talk to you. That's where I'm getting to with religious people. If you did not create yourself, why would I care about talking to you? What thoughts do you have that I can't get from the person who created you? So, hey, we'll be right back. Much love to everybody. Peace out. Gang, 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 gang.